Where are we? Hello, Ian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Just let me press some buttons. Totally last minute, this, yes.
Press away.
Last minute, yes.
Oh, my phone's got notification that we're on.
YouTube is doing its job and notifying the guest who's on the show.
Yeah.
I will say hello, chat. Hello, Melvin. Hello, Joshua. Hello, Black Lives or Black Camels. Ian and I decided. See, they're coming in hot already. Look, here you go, Ian.
What's that?
Ian, David, it's shit. Yeah, yes. We literally decided 10 minutes ago, didn't we?
Yep.
10 minutes ago, folks. And guess what we're going to talk about? Ian, do you know?
Ships and Marvels. The Marvels.
Shit ships.
Shit and
Shit ships.
Film.
Hopefully here we go. There's a poll, folks.
Is there?
What we've got? Serenity.
Oh.
Do I want to read them? In fact, you can read them. I'll read it. Kills time. Serenity, Firefly, The Milano, Guardians of the Galaxy, Buck Rogers, Starfighter or Thunderfighter. My favourites. Cylon Raider, Battlestar Galactica 2004. Please vote, peeps. We'll just see how we get on. This is still. I messed up the rounds. Technically, this is round one. Still, round one is 64 shit chips. So once we've got the 32, it will go to round two, etc., etc. So please vote, everybody. Please vote. Okay, so Ian, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm just recovering from that crappy movie, The Marvels, but there you go.
Oh, you went to see it, yes.
Yes, unfortunately. My niece dragged me there. But there you go. There you go.
Thoughts?
It was rubbish. it was shit.
That's it, everybody. Good night. It was rubbish. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I tell everybody, it's a film for 5-year-old girls. That's basically what it is. The story's really basic.
Would you say, spoilers, by the way, folks, not that any of you are going to see it, would you say it's for unintelligent 5-year-old girls or intelligent 5-year-old girls?
Well, it's neither. It's like when you watch something and you don't, when you're a kid and you don't question it, but you find enjoyment in it. That's what I think 5-year-old little girls are going to find in this film.
Oh, what you mean is consume on to the next product.
Like for instance, right? Kids will watch Peppa Pig, but they'll never question how comes a pig can talk. And how comes the father is really stupid and what do they make for money? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. They just see it and they accept it for what it is. I think that's what this film is for. It's for 5-year-old little girls that will just watch it, marvel at Miss Marvel and Brie and the other ladies and think that it's cool and watch it and then the next day they'll forget about it. That's basically what this film is. So
do you think it's aimed at, obviously it's aimed at young peeps. It's trying to get the parents in as well, isn't it?
No, I think it was aimed at the Marvel fans, but the people that created it didn't have a clue how what to write or how to write it or how to make it exciting or how to care about the characters. So they wrote it in such a way that they thought would capture people like us, but they don't have a clue on what right and what to do, what is right to do for these characters. So they gave us something because they're inexperienced. They gave us something that's basically
Tosh.
for a 5-year-old. Basically, that's what they've given us. So there you go.
Mm. Well, we all know I'm a big fan of Brie.
Mm.
So was it aimed at the dads?
Well, um, there was like, for instance, right? She's got a new costume, Brie, right?
Yeah.
And it isn't. You can tell that they wanted her to look really attractive or sexy, but they weren't going to go there. So they went not even quarter of the way. I would say 10% of the way. So they gave Brie a fitting costume, and I don't understand why the arms are up to her elbows. Didn't like it didn't fit her. But she has lost a lot of weight, as you can see in the
Yeah, she was a
film.
bit skinny for that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
felt it.
but still got retained her boobies for some reason.
I
Um,
think I think that was about. I'm sure that was about
mm,
during lockdown
but
20.
they shot that then.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the summer of 2020.
The thing about her is that you've got to look that thin to look like the comic character, because the way they used to
Yeah,
draw them in the comics, obviously they were, perfect bodies and, perfect faces and stuff like, because that's the idea of heroes, that, they look kind of perfect. So she did fit into the costume very well, and she did look nice in the costume, especially in the tank
yeah.
top that she wore in one
Yeah, here we
scene.
go. M. Duke. Ian,
Mm.
how was the tank top?
It
Ooh,
was, I mean, I just got a
beautiful.
feeling, I got the feeling they stuffed up her bra, because there's no way someone that thin could retain that unless she's had a boob job, of course, retain that size of boobs. So I reckon. So in other words, right, what I'm trying to say is, apart from it's shit, I'm trying to say,
Shit,
I'm
everybody.
I'm trying to say that it looks like they were making a half-ass effort to make her look attractive. And I was quite surprised on that, because if you see every film with a Marvel female character, it's like they put them in a bin or something, like
Yeah.
a bag bin. So I was that was one of the things that I thought, wow, that's weird. So yeah. So I mean, and if you're a fan of Brie, I guess you'll be happy. But then they put her in this other costume at the end, and she just looked like they rolled the costume in mud, because there was no color or anything. I don't know what you thought of that last costume.
Yeah, it looked a bit. It was very drab. It's like all the color was taken out of it,
Yeah.
almost like kind of like camouflage.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, very drab.
And also, so like I fell asleep for 5 minutes, I think, within this film, and I woke up and there was singing.
Oh
So
God, that's when I
so
nearly wanted to look at my watch.
but you would think, because that she's meant to be the princess of that world, you'd think that would put her in a nice dress when they started dancing. What did they put her in? some kind of some kind of Miss Marvel
It was like
costume
Disney
dress.
princess
I
type
know, it was awful.
bollocks.
It was awful.
Um, you know the antagonist,
Oh yeah, yeah. British.
you know the nub of the film. Spoilers, by the way, was because Captain Marvel interfered with the Kree homeworld
Yeah. So
with the
basic.
with
Yeah,
the AI thing,
she destroyed the AI.
and she fucked it up. Yeah,
Well, that's one of the stupid ideas that they put into the film, that she basically destroyed the AI and the whole planet went dark and everything went back to basics, and and stuff like that. But if you had done that as a superhero, and you were kind and you were nice and you wanted to save other planets, you'll go back there and help them, when you'll help them try
yeah.
and
She just left
she
them
just
to it.
left, which doesn't make any sense. See, that's one of the dumb things in the script. It really, and also this thing about Monica Rambeau saying, "Oh, you left. You said you were coming back, but you didn't. You didn't come back." And it's like, she's a grown fucking adult. You think she'd understand? Do you know what I mean? It's like still talking about that crap. Do you know what I mean? So it's just little things like that. Actually, a lot of things like that that just didn't make any sense in the fucking script. Personally,
Well, I wonder how long originally the movie was, because you can tell there was lots of holes in the plot.
Yeah.
It was like from one scene to another, let's just get out of here as quickly as we can.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you could tell, couldn't you?
It was stupid. The film was stupid. You know, I mean, right. So none of them were in danger at any point, right? At
No.
any point. You know, you have three superheroines, right? You think that they would it all boils down to they don't know how to, they've hired these people to write these scripts and they don't know how to write a proper script. They don't know the three act structure. They don't know anything and they just write like a 5-year-old. That's why it turned out like a 5-year-old film. And it's awful. As I was saying to Ian, you know, when I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good film, and but I cared about every character in that film, almost every character. You know what I mean? Even Rocket, I cared about Rocket, you know, a stupid little a little raccoon that talks. I cared that he lived or died, and you know, you care about anyone in this film.
I don't know the name of the villain, the woman, but she took over from
The other guy with the hammer,
Ronan,
yeah.
that big blue mofo.
Mm, yeah.
She took over after the power vacuum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she went on a hate boner to. It was trying to get it was using them bangle things to create portholes in space.
Yeah. They what is it? They disrupt the portholes.
Yes.
In
Is
space.
it porthole or portals?
Who knows?
Anybody know portholes or portals?
Portals.
Portal.
Do you know the bit where Captain Marvel's saying, come out, it's closing, come out? Why didn't she come out of it? Rambo at the ending. She was going, you can come out now, it's going to close on its own accord. Do you remember? She said that to her. And she goes, oh no, I must finish the job. It's like, he doesn't need you to finish the job.
Yeah, she could have closed it from the other side.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Gone through it and pushed it instead of pulling it.
Exactly. So it just didn't make any sense.
There you go. Portals.
Portals.
Portos.
Portos.
Here we go. Portals. Do you know?
Yeah,
do you know?
film.
Right. I'm going to say, folks, in the chats, it was literally last moment, and just seeing you guys turn up. Fuck, I don't deserve you guys.
Yeah, you definitely don't deserve.
I don't deserve you, wonderful people. God, I feel so blessed.
Yeah.
So, okay, so where did we get to? So the woman who was the villain she took over from Ronan
because
and she was effectively trying to steal the her Kree or whatever the name of the planet had gone dark, hadn't it?
Yeah.
So she was trying to. Why did the sun go dark?
I have no idea, but right.
Why would it go dark after turning the AI?
Don't know.
Off?
But
Don't know.
Just goes to show what kind of a horrible character Miss Marvel is. She destroyed the AI. Everything went back to basics. She flew off. And she knew what she did as well, because she actually says it in the film.
Yeah.
What kind of a hero would you call that?
Yeah,
they get a big pass because they're women.
Yeah, she fucked off with a cat, with a pussy, didn't she?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's just like WandaVision, where she tortured all those people in that town, put kids in the basement for like weeks and weeks without any food, water, or anything like that. Yet one of Rambo says to her, "You don't know what you sacrificed," blah blah blah. You know, praising it. Yeah. It's like, because she's a woman, it's all right for her to torture people. Because Miss Marvel is a woman, it's okay for her to destroy a planet and leave people to starve. You know, a planet without a sun.
Yeah, it had gone dark. The atmosphere had there was no sun. I don't understand why the sun went dark. But
that's what I'm saying. It's written. It's like it's written by. You remember when you were at school and the teacher said, write a story, write an essay.
Yeah.
You'd write an essay and then you didn't know how to end it, so you just go, and he woke up and it was a dream. The end. It's like that. That's every situation. Don't
Yeah,
think of the
Black Girl
craziest dream.
Magic.
Yeah.
I will say, chat, as uh, did I say good evening? Good evening, chat. Has anybody wasted their money on watching it? As I said, my ticket cost £3, 95p booking fee.
Really.
I had to spend my own money on diesel for my van to go see it.
But, like I saw something this morning on thing, was it Instagram?
Yeah.
What's his name? Samuel L. Jackson going, yeah, watch the Marvels. I'm like,
Oh
good
God.
God. Yeah. You're definitely doing it for the money, pal.
Here you go, Joshua. Hello, Joshua. I only watch reviews. Saves a fortune. Hated Endgame. Haven't bought a Marvel ticket since.
Don't blame you.
I
Really don't
think,
blame you.
yeah, I watched Endgame.
I didn't mind Endgame.
It was creeping in.
It was, yeah.
I haven't seen any apart from the Spider-Man and this.
I mean, I saw the Thor one, which I thought was awful.
No,
Never
I
saw
haven't.
Ant-Man. Never saw the Wakanda. Yeah, I did. I walked out halfway through Wakanda because I thought it was so awful. It's the only time I've ever walked out of film.
Here you go. Tevin asks, how did you feel about the end credits scene? Spoilers, everybody.
I didn't feel anything because it's bollocks. It really is. It's just nonsense. She turns up and there's the beast, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, where's this leading to?
Don't
Why?
know.
Yeah, why? Why have it?
In the timeline or the reality we were in the movie, Rambo's mum died of cancer,
Yes.
and for some reason she was blaming Captain Marvel for not being around. And then the end scene when she got sucked through the tear in space, the kind of blockbusters hexagons type tear in space. Fuck knows why it's hexagons, but she got sucked through to a different reality, didn't she? Where a mummy was still alive.
She got sucked through to the 20th Century Fox reality.
Yes.
So she'd probably be meeting Spider-Man.
Yeah, her mum was alive. Who's it was the woman out of No Time to Die, by the way.
Yes, it was, yeah.
What character is the mum?
I don't know, but she obviously is part of the X-Men, isn't she?
She's not Halle Berry's character, is she?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Well, she might be. I don't know. I wasn't paying much of attention, really. I wanted to just go home because my niece was like, "Go see what them's at the end." And so,
there you go. Tevin says, I've watched the EFAT breakdown of the movie. Was it any good? Was it better than this shit? Probably.
But I thought they were in a hospital, but then when Beast started walking towards the door, I suddenly realized they were at the X-Men.
It was CGI.
Yeah.
CGI Beast, everybody.
Yeah. So all right, okay, fine. Yeah, I just didn't care. This movie sucked big time. It wasn't even, there was no thrills in it. It was just, there was no real danger, really. It was just complete and utter nonsense. It really was. Oh boy.
Yeah, the baddie wasn't on screen much and didn't say not a lot, really. You can see it's been chopped to hell.
Yeah, she was in that British show, wasn't she? The one with the ghosts, werewolf. There was a werewolf. She was. I don't know who she was. Remember that show? It was on BBC Two.
No, it's Tom Hiddleston's missus as well.
Oh, she married to Tom Hiddleston?
I don't think they're married. I think she's had a Tom's baby.
Really? I did not know
I'm
that.
sure. I don't think they're married.
I did not know that at all.
Here you go, Princess Fiona. EFAP was kind of epic for this. That's how Notice Mr. B. That's how Notice Mr. B was on. That's how I.
Hey, what?
Moving on.
That's how.
Sorry.
Oh well, a princess. If you can.
Oh, is it? Are they streaming it now?
I don't know.
EFAP.
Let's
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
look. Are they?
I don't know. They're probably the Lords on it as well.
I don't know what EFAP is. What is EFAP?
It's Mauler's channel. Every frame a picture. Hi, Kiara. $5. Firefly is the best ship. I support.
Every
Mr.
frame a
Brown.
picture.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that.
They just copied that. Every frame a picture is this other guy that does reviews of. They just copied that.
Here you go. EFAP's still on you.
Yeah, it's on. Who's on it? The
Who's
Lord's
on
not
EFAP, folks? Do we know?
Lord's not on it. I'm looking now. He's not on it. It's a bunch of people that are scared to show their face, apparently.
Well, like us.
Yeah. Well, you can always catch my face on Dan's channel.
Here you go, folks. Suck it in.
What's that?
Hello, this is Mr. Brown, looking very old. Sorry, folks. Age comes to us all.
Caught up with you.
I love you all.
Yeah, EFAP's still on. EFAP's still on. Bloody hell. They're going on about the Marvels. I've got the volume down, but yeah, whatever. At least our review is concise and small.
Yeah, because we're just talking shite, basically.
Yeah, at least.
I would say Vex, do you want to come on? You've seen it. Vex,
yeah.
fancy popping on for 10 minutes?
Come on, Vex.
Vex, come on, Vex. You know, put some class. Bring some class to the channel. Come on, Vex. Come on, Vex.
No, I just want to see what she thinks. That'd be hilarious.
Well, she's definitely on for. We're definitely on tomorrow, folks, with a proper review.
Yeah, I think she's working now. I think.
Is she?
I'm not sure.
I think the Lord is back tomorrow as well. Vex is on tomorrow, so it's going to be a good one tomorrow, folks, on the musings. Not boys. Oh, this is a good one, isn't it?
What's that?
The music Sunday show. Everybody else copies our Sunday show, don't they?
Well, I don't know if we're. Yeah.
Yes, they do. Ian, just say yes.
Okay. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah. So in other words, right? I'm not recommending the Marvels. It is a big waste of everybody's time. But if your little girl wants to see it, then yeah, I guess she'll enjoy it.
Listen, folks, I would say if you've got a YouTube channel and you're monetized and you're going to do some vids and you can get it, more importantly, you can get a cheap ticket. I'd probably go see it in the theatre if you can get a cheap ticket.
It's probably doing the rounds. Probably doing the rounds on the Uari.
Yeah, yes, it was. It was on the before it was even released yet. How many was in your theatre? What time did you go?
I went. Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
All right. I saw that letter you got.
Oh. Trying not to think about it.
There, right there.
Fucking hell. Yes, you called me out, Mr. Brown, so I'm here to take a bit of a break from my Marvel's script.
How's that going?
There, right there.
Mr. Brown, you didn't tell us that you were so handsome behind that camera. Why aren't you showing?
I used to be handsome, folks. Is a deadly combination of veganism and old age did for me.
Yeah, I am going to respectfully disagree on that. Just saying, there's a lot of ladies that will, tweak their nipples looking at you. Just saying. Just saying.
It's been a while.
Yeah, right there.
It's great to have you on, Vex.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Here you go, Princess Fiona. You can see the Marvels for $3 in IMAX here with coupon, and it's still empty at Mr. Brown Alliance.
Do you know what? When I went at
I'd
three.
see it for $3.
I went at 3:30. That was the
Mhm.
screening where I was,
Yeah.
and the cinema wasn't packed, but it wasn't empty. Put it that way. And there were a lot of it was a lot of men in the theater. And it was only me. I think
Old men,
Yeah.
dirty old
yeah.
men.
Well, a lot of people of my age. Yeah, definitely.
There were a lot of younger dudes in my theater, like mid-20s, early 30s, all alone. They weren't with a girlfriend or
Yeah.
anything. And then there was a family that came in, which is, I mean, that's fine. It's kind of a tone-wise, it's more on a child movie spectrum.
Mm.
And then there were just like a bunch of teenagers that just came from school because I went for a 4 o'clock showing.
Do you know what? When I was in the cinema, right, there was this two burly guys and this old man, and they
Mhm.
brought him in, and he was on one of those walkers, and they put the walker at the bottom of the stairs, and they walked him up the stairs to the seat up there, and
Mhm.
they came to see
What?
Miss Marvel. Yeah, so like you had this old man. I think he must be in his 70s, maybe
Wasn't me old man, was it?
80s. No, and yeah, and they watched it. They watched the films, but there were a lot of young men that were in the theater, and there was one girl with blue hair that was sitting opposite me.
Mhm.
She was watching it with a slushy. She was drinking a slushy, and everybody else
Was it
was
blue? Was it a blue slushy?
actually it was a
To
pink
match the hair.
slushy. Would you believe it was pink?
That's a proper
What
colour
a
clash.
disgrace.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then behind me there were a lot of there was no families. It was just young men or old men. So it was mostly men that came to see the film.
My
Mhm.
screening,
Mm.
mainly, there were a few young peeps. I'd say mainly people in the 40s and 50s, people who have been with Marvel from the beginning, as it were.
All right, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big theatre. I'd say maybe 40 was in. That was
How
at
many
1 p.m. yesterday.
how many
40.
Mhm.
seats was it theater, do you think?
It's one of those kind of really big ones.
Right, gotcha.
Probably what, 300 maybe.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
The kind of typical Cineworld where it's one of the bigger screens, Ian, and
Yeah,
it goes all the way to the back.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
the super
Not
screen.
not IMAX, but
Super screen.
certainly their biggest auditorium.
Yeah, it's called the super screen. There's the 4DX.
Yeah.
There's the super screen, and then there's the standard screen that they have. So that's in my theater. That is theater. I'm sounding like an American here. Cinema. Yeah. So there you go.
So Vex, what
Mhm.
did you think?
I actually am going against the grain, and I thought The Marvels was marvelous, in all honesty. I loved that it made no sense 5 minutes in. I loved all of the character inconsistencies. I loved all the makeup inconsistencies. I loved that the only cute dude looked like a woman. Just so many great I even loved that Nick Fury had one action sequence and he just fought sitting in a chair. That
Yeah.
was the best part of the entire movie, in my opinion.
Also, he's got a bit of a paunch now, isn't he? And he waddles. He doesn't walk
Mhm.
properly.
Well,
He
he's in his
waddles, doesn't he?
70s.
Doesn't matter. What's his name? Laurence Olivier. When he was in his 80s and he was acting, he always looked like a powerhouse. And then when they got cut, he'd just waddle to his chair, wouldn't he? So it's called a performance. But it looks
Yep.
like Samuel L. Jackson's just phoning it in now. He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
he's just there for the paycheck. It was so obvious by
Mm.
how even his character was completely nuked. I don't know if you guys noticed, because like in Captain Marvel, it was young Nick Fury,
Yeah.
so he was kind of like a bit immature, and I mean, it was okay that he was emasculated in that movie for that reason alone.
Mm.
I didn't agree with how they portrayed him otherwise. And then all the events of the rest of the Marvel series happen, and he's kind of this, sardonic, mature, kind of badass dude. And then all of a sudden in this movie, even though now we're like 40 years later, he's acting back like that young Nick
Yeah.
Fury that doesn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck he's doing.
Mm.
How
They
did
just kind of nuke him for no reason again.
how did you what did you think about Captain Marvel causing the problem on the Kree
You mean
Money.
homeworld?
Captain Marvel doing
Yeah.
exactly what Disney is doing to the Uyghur Muslims? I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Wow.
Um, I
It is, isn't
love
it?
that Captain Marvel
Yeah.
has been propped up this entire time in the MCU as like some refugee savior for the Skrulls, but she had no problem genociding an entire
Yeah.
nation,
Yeah.
which she even says in a line of dialogue
Yeah.
was brainwashed by a sentient AI for a millennia. So most of those people don't even know why the fuck they think the way they are, but she's like, Nabi, fuck it. You know, you guys can all just die. These Skrulls, even though they don't do nothing and literally have no value, I'm just gonna keep, killing all y'all to
Well, hold on,
save these
but
guys.
she destroyed the AI and flew away and
Mhm.
left the country with nothing, or left the planet with nothing. And it's like, and then she goes, "Oh yeah, that's why I didn't come back to Earth, because I was ashamed." It was like, what? Well, you have the power to help them. Why didn't you fly back and help them, you moron? Do
Right.
you know what I
And they
mean? It's
had
like,
30 years of civil war
yeah,
instead, and all
yeah.
these people are suffocating. And then oh god.
And it was all her
The
fault.
Right, and then she just flies back, and conveniently, she also has the power of literally a thousand
Yeah,
suns.
yeah.
So she jumpstarts their sun again.
Which she could have done 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? She could have done that ages ago.
What would be the chances of them actually doing all the superheroes, three of them doing the same thing at the same time in different locations? What was the chances of that?
I don't know, and I don't care,
Because
because it
that
was
was the power
dull.
swap thing, wasn't it?
It was really dull. And you know what? Did anyone have? I had a problem with
One
with
of many.
with Fury's helper, the guy with the dreads. I don't
Oh,
know.
the
He
tall
just
black
looked.
dude?
Oh yeah, he just looked out of place. I was like, Jesus, talk about ticking the box
Oh
multiple
yeah.
times in the
Was there
same
any
box.
white men in this?
Yeah, the ones that got
Other than the
swallowed.
baddie?
There was just like I think the two Skrull white guys, that was it. Everyone else was a quote person of color, end quote.
Yeah, it was. What about the bit where the whole place was coming down, and the little Miss Marvel girl says, "Oh, we got to save them. We only can save the people that we can save." It's like,
Oh my
talk about.
god.
I was like, talk about compassion.
Right. To be honest, I actually didn't mind that she did that at all because like let's be honest, like realistically
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
save
save everyone.
everyone,
No,
right?
you can't.
But it's just in complete contradiction to the fact that we also learned she did annihilate an
Yeah,
entire race as well.
exactly,
So
exactly. It's ridiculous,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I can't understand why. I still can't understand why the sun went dark.
don't
Maybe
think
maybe
too
it was,
hard.
yeah,
Don't think too
exactly.
hard.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's written by a 5-year-old, like it's like I don't know, I woke up one day and looked at the London skyline, and then I walked out my house and I loved the beach and I was in Jamaica. Do you know what I mean? So don't explain how you went. That's how kids write, isn't it?
Jamaica,
Right.
How did I go
Jamaica,
to
man,
Jamaica, mum? You know
Jamaica,
You
what I
I
mean?
know
run
you
things.
know what would have actually fixed this entire movie, and I've been
What, not
saying
making
this
it?
that too. But since we are in the realm where this movie is being made, I firmly believe if the first Captain Marvel had instead been some weird mind control, grapey relationship between Jude Law and Brie Larson, right?
Mm,
Because, okay, hold on. Captain Marvel, she was gone from Earth for 6 years. We don't know how the hell she went from Earth to Hala, and she was
mm,
just there for 6 years. If we had just gotten a movie focusing on their relationship and how she got brainwashed, it actually probably would have ended up answering a lot of the questions that
Yeah.
this movie now leaves. So, like, why did the Supreme Intelligence control all the natural functions of Hala? Why
mm.
did the sun die? Why did they default into a civil war, apparently? How the fuck did what's her face get into power when she was just taken out by a bunch of rocks in the
Yeah,
flashback?
yeah.
Like, why didn't Captain Marvel ever return? Like, what was her reasoning for literally just destroying and abandoning this planet, and then taking like 40 years to realize that she did wrong. It there
Only after being told she could correct it as well.
But what you
right.
call it? We know why they did that, because they thought of the idea that basically they said, let's make up a reason why Captain Marvel didn't come back to Earth. Oh,
Mhm,
maybe she did something wrong. And that's how that idea started. It's so obvious. That's how kids think. And that's what I'm
mhm.
saying. Kids wrote, people with a child's mind wrote this, literally wrote this script. It's awful, absolutely awful. Obviously, you wouldn't tell a kid that if he
I
wrote it,
I
but
don't know if you guys also noticed, because I know we're all aware that this went through a lot of reshoots as well.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know if you noticed the makeup changes
yeah,
throughout
a
the
little
film.
bit,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, like I think it was like it made sense after they visited. Okay, I don't remember the planet name, so I'm just gonna call it Aladdin because it sounded like Aladdin.
Oh, Disney World, where they were.
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Yeah,
So when they went to Aladdin, they got like the new outfits. I was like, okay, it's for movie magic. It makes sense why they have makeup on there. But then there were weird transitions throughout the rest of the film where like Monica, most notably, just like had porn star level of makeup on, and I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, that she's like an astronaut. How is she having the time to put on those lashes?
Mm,
And then even Darben. She went from looking like a mop in the first half of the movie, and then suddenly her hair has a bit of coiffed, and she's got like tinted lipstick on in
mm.
her final scene as well. So I was just such
Also,
a basic consistency error.
another thing that bothered me as well is that when they swap places, right? Captain Marvel was in the little girl Captain Marvel's place, right? And then when she swapped with Rambo, she was
Mhm.
in her spacesuit. I don't know how does
let's
that
not
work?
get bogged down with that.
Oh, okay, I don't
Amelia
understand.
Clark Scroll Arm.
Brilliant.
I liked the Khan family fighting aliens in their living room, and one of the aliens screamed in terror when the brother put a brush in his face.
They took a mop. Both of
I
the
know.
father and son team up and just like, let's defeat this galactic being by smothering him with a mop. Meanwhile, Mama Khan is just straight up fighting off a Kree person off of her husband 30 seconds earlier. Did you guys notice that at all?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. We know.
I was, oh my god, this it's like it's
Did
so many just little fundamental errors that this film makes that are so easy to avoid.
Did you watch any of the TV series?
No, because I have a life.
Yeah, same here. Same
There you
here.
go, folks. It's official. Mr. Brown does not have a life.
But
I
but
repeat, does not have a
but
life.
seriously though, right? If you're gonna make a hero called Captain Marvel and she's a little, is it what's her nationality, or what's her religion?
She's Pakistani. No, she's Indian Muslim. There we go.
Yeah,
Indian Muslim. Why would you dress her like an Indian Muslim?
Oh,
because she's
oh, oh,
Indian.
oh, 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 oh. My hand is up, but you can't see it.
Go on
Sorry.
then. Go on then.
Okay, it's for representation, folks.
I
Representation.
I see. Okay. Well,
I
that's
was.
just,
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
wait on. So Superman, right, is from Krypton. Right? Why isn't he not wearing the white gowns that his dad wore?
Because he's yeah. Because he was a
What?
baby.
No, but still, come on.
What did you? What was the name of the young Indian girl who played?
What
What was
played
it?
Miss Marvel?
Yeah,
They both played Miss Marvel.
Yeah, she was
Is she gay, by the way?
Probably. She was quirky and fun. I quite,
No,
Wait,
she
wait.
as I
wasn't.
She's
said
gay in
earlier,
real life?
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
no.
just made that up.
Is she gay in the film because she was crushing on Miss Marvel? I was just
She wasn't
wondering.
lame though.
Yeah, she wasn't crushing. She just really, really idolized her.
Yeah.
No, she says that line, doesn't she? Captain, whether it was Captain or whatever, she was in
Oh,
the ship.
Captain, my captain.
Yeah, because like I was thinking, oh, is she gay? I was
Nice
thinking to myself,
Dead Poets Society quotes.
I thought she was
Yeah.
gay. Is she not
No,
gay?
no. She's
Oh,
definitely
okay.
not gay.
Oh, okay. All right.
She wasn't lame either. She was a
She
chick.
was lame. She was very lame. It
I
was a waste of time. Waste of my time.
She was kind of adorable and
Yeah, yeah.
charming, but
She
for
looked
the
like she was
first 10
pleased to be there.
minutes, Yeah, for the first 10 minutes, and the rest of the movie, it was just like she was just there to fill space.
It was a waste of this film was a waste of everybody's time. They could have come up with such a great story with these three, and and reintroduce them, because usually when you have a TV show, even if the TV show's been going on for 6 years, when you make a film version of it, you reintroduce it to a new audience, like the X-Files, for instance. They did that. And you can mention any other TV show got spin off into a film. They're always wary of the new audience that's coming to see them. But with this, they didn't do anything like that at all. They expected us to watch the shit that was on Disney. We didn't. I didn't watch it, so I didn't know what was going on at all.
I didn't watch Miss Marvel. I watched Chundavision. That was first 2 episodes were really good, ish, and then it just.
No, I just didn't. I did the whole thing didn't make any sense, and none of them were in danger. They get thrown halfway across the room. None of them got hurt. None of them had any cuts on their face or anything like that. There was no, they weren't, there was no edge of your seat stuff. They weren't inches away from death. None of them,
No.
unlike, when you watch Endgame or the Infinity War or Indiana Jones, the good ones, that is. You know what I mean? None of that. It was just bland.
Bigger folks, Stitch. It's "Oh Captain, My Captain," a fine poem by Walt Whitman.
Oh, I see.
Also referenced in Dead Poets Society when they're on the stand on the tables. Great
And
movie.
why is Captain Marvel on her own on her ship?
Because she's not met me, obviously. That's why.
Well, I mean, doesn't she have any friends? Doesn't she go and visit planets or something like that?
Bree, I am available. I'll forgive your genocide.
But I'm just saying, it doesn't make any sense.
It is odd because the other thing they introduced too, to try and like offset her loneliness, or her just like, try to fill that void or whatever, is Valkyrie just gets thrown in there, and apparently they have a deep friendship or some shit, and you're just like, how did you guys even meet? Like, outside of that one fight on Endgame, how did you guys end up forming a bond? And 2,
woman,
has Tessa Thompson gone down on Captain Marvel? Because we all know that Valkyrie is gay.
Oh, I hope not.
That's what I'm saying. It is. The film is hugely flawed, big time. But it's, as I said, if you had a 5-year-old little girl that went to see that, they'll be happy with it. You know what I mean? It's for 5-year-olds. That's basically what it is.
But that's where it loses itself a little bit, because like I could get that maybe from the first, like the opening sequence where everything's animated, right? And I'm thinking, okay, like clearly the audience is meant for little girls, so I was actually ready to be a little more sympathetic with this film as a result.
Yeah.
But then it introduces some really dark like subplots, and even just the way the villain decides to react to certain things, and that we seem to consistently be trying to kill off races of people. I was like, this isn't lighthearted whatsoever. What the fuck?
No, it's
So
not.
like it became really hard for me to just kind of be a little more like loose with this film as a result, because it's very clear that there were several people writing this, and that also is another reason why it seems to contradict itself at every turn.
It's obvious that it was women heavy, and it was all about women bosses, because when you look at Fury in Avengers, he was solely in command of everything, and in this one he wasn't in command of anything. Basically, he was he was just waste of everyone's time. Anyway, carry on. Who's this? Emily Clark, Scroll Arm.
I'm just going to send an invite out. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay. Another thing I had a problem with too, which again, this is just convenient. And another thing that, a Brie Larson and Jude Law love movie would have solved as well, is why Dar-Ben immediately just gets dusted when she puts on both bracelets, but Miss Marvel has Marvel powers when she puts.
Why is that?
Don't know.
And then she's like, I was born for this. I'm like, but bitch, you just put on a bracelet and that's why you have powers. You're useless otherwise.
She is.
I just, and then that entire, after Dar-Ben opens that giant space jump portal, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you guys noticed, same animation that they used for the portals in Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy,
it is. Yeah.
and
Is
not
it
only that, but
question?
yeah,
Sorry, Vex.
yeah,
Portals or portals?
Oh, here we go.
portage.
Right, okay.
but
Sorry, carry
she
on.
could have got out, right? Because Miss Marvel was saying to
Come
her,
out more like.
"It's closing. Come out." She goes, "Oh no, I have to finish it." It's like, no, you don't have to finish it. It's closing. Get out. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Right. And so
Here you go.
Miss Captain Marvel can travel at the speed of light. And
yeah,
actually, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was one scene in the first 10 minutes where she actually teleports on her own without it being part of like the whole triple switch.
yeah,
So even though Captain Marvel can now teleport on her own and travel at the speed of light, she still couldn't reach this broken hole to go and get Monica.
Also, as Brown pointed out, he said that why was she on the other side closing it? Why couldn't she stay on the side of
Yeah, and then
of your
pull it.
reality to close it? Why did she have to go inside to close it? Just didn't
Because
make
she
any sense.
apparently understands quantum physics and astrophysics just by looking at things,
Yeah,
which she does consistently throughout the film. Unlike,
Um,
in Endgame, where Tony Stark spent like 10 fucking years trying to figure out how to turn back the blip or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it's fuck it. She's black girl magic, right? As Fury said.
here you go, Princess Fiona. Can you answer this, Vex? Why was the hammer Infinity Stone powered?
Don't know.
Girl, yeah, don't know. Don't know.
Don't know. No.
Here you go, folks. Wayland Bucephus. Always tough questions. $2. Tug McGroin. Oh, what's this? Jacking off.
I'm gonna go with
Both,
jacking
probably.
off just because tugging a female groin might be a little painful.
I just
Angry Llama. Black Girl Magic.
it's just incredibly inept, the script, and incredibly badly directed as well. It's such a shame, right? Because I understand what these people are trying to do. They're trying to put the female out there, and they're trying to get them more films. Same thing with people of color, but they're not doing it right. They're fucking off people. They're upsetting the fan base, and they want to blame the fan base, and they know they're in the wrong side of history. They know they are, but yet they're so arrogant to think.
You're right, and just to piggyback off of that, I like that representation goes only as far as skin color, because the Khan family is Muslim, and I can guarantee you that those two kids were getting fucking beaten as young children with a wooden spoon, and that mom was way too lenient. So just saying, you're okay with skin color representation, but not cultural representation.
Here you go, Vex. Question for you from NPC person. I'll start again. NPC person. Is Captain Vex gay and disabled?
And also a chick and kind of lame. So I check everything that Kathleen Kennedy wants to do these days.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
This is a very, 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 very diverse panel, isn't it?
It certainly is. I'm a man of color.
You're a man of color.
She's a woman of color, and you're just white.
A honky. Welcome to the Toxic White Male channel, everybody. I'm the honky, everybody.
Oh dear. It's the way it goes, I guess.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Vex, do we know what is the figure that's being bandied around? Is it 300 mil?
For the
It's going
budget?
to be more, though, isn't it? Yeah.
250 million is the one that I saw most recently, but if we're going to include all the market, let's say around 400, because I don't think we're including the reshoots as well.
Oh,
that figure, yeah.
So that's probably,
did you see Bolstrek
No.
review of it? It's absolutely hilarious. It's so funny. He's back, everybody. Bolstrek.
Yeah, I know he couldn't resist it, could he?
He was absolutely. I was laughing my ass off on his review. Short and sweet, but it was really funny. So there you go.
Did you guys see Dark Hours review at all earlier today?
Was it good?
It was good, and there was a question, or not a question, but there was something that he poised in there that I thought was interesting is that Secret Invasion was supposed to originally be a Captain Marvel led show, but they realized that she couldn't lead a series, and that's why they put Nick Fury in there instead. So
Wow.
I think that actually makes a lot of sense because it would make all the Skrull stuff, especially her putting them on all these hidden planets, that sub storyline would make a lot more sense.
But wasn't the original story with Nick Fury in the comics?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably.
So I mean, I've never read it. I don't really know much about it, but
Mhm.
it sounded fascinating. But obviously it's Disney.
I will say,
shit.
Echo, do you want to come on? You've seen the Marvels, haven't you? Do you want to come on?
Marvel, the Marvel.
Here you go, Angry Llama. That's a very cool looking llama. How did Mr. Barrowline says me like Bree's feet?
Well, we didn't get to see
I
her
didn't see
feet.
them, thank God.
Didn't see her feet, but we did
What?
see the padded bra she had on when she was wearing the white tank top, didn't we?
What about how nicely her breasts were pushed up in her
Oh,
little
That's
Marvel
what I'm
dress?
talking
Christ,
about. That's what I'm talking
just
about.
couldn't stop looking at them.
Right.
That's what
There's
I'm
a
talking
toxic
about.
white male of the channel.
But you see, I was just talking to Ian about this, right? They made the effort to try and make Brie a bit sexy in this one, which
She looked
I was
lovely.
really surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Really surprised that they went.
She, yeah, her butt looked phenomenal as well.
Well, it was
Like,
padded,
I
wasn't
I wasn't looking
it?
too
I was
high up
looking
for you, isn't it?
more upwards, yes.
They padded the costume of her ass.
Did they? Because it
yeah.
looked pretty natural to
No,
me.
no, they did. But also, she was really thin.
Yes.
And when you're wearing a skin tight costume, it helps to be thin, really thin in real life, because obviously when you shoot someone, it puts 2 pounds on you. So she must have been really thin when she shot that film.
Hold on, someone would like to say hello because
Really?
he keeps jumping on me.
Hey,
Well, bear with me.
is she gonna swallow you? Is he gonna swallow you?
He's not. No, he's not a flurgan. No,
Pussy, everybody.
he does lick me on a regular
I'm
basis.
sorry.
Okay.
Oh, he's a lovely boy, isn't he?
Yes, isn't he? Isn't he? Look at this cute chum chum, huh?
Is it a boy or a girl?
Boy.
It's a boy. His name is
right.
Raja.
Raja.
Tabby.
Like Aladdin.
Yeah, tabby
Oh.
cats. Ginger tabby cats are always boys.
Oh, he's a Bengal.
Oh,
My friend's got a
beautiful.
cat.
His
He
eyes.
called it Jonesy from Aliens. Or
I
Alien.
If
don't
I
know
had a tabby, it'd be Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Doesn't Vex's pussy look fantastic, everybody?
You terrible person, you.
I'll show you the white one later.
Here you go. Sorry,
We do love a bit of pussy.
Angry Llama. We do love a bit of pussy. We do.
So hold on. So that Vex, that letter that you showed us, is that true? Or is that like a mock-up thing?
Okay, so I'll give you the story time. So I don't know if you guys were aware of the lockdowns that were happening in Canada during the peak of the virus that shall not be named.
Mm.
Okay, basically, if you were coming in and out of the country, you had to show papers. So even if you were a citizen, and it says like in the Canadian Charter of Rights that you're free to move in and out of the country without restriction. So my husband is down in Florida, so I was just trying, seeing him 2-3 times a year is pretty fucking rough when you just got married. Right. So I had gone, I'd flown. No, hold on. Oh, no, okay. So for about a year and a half, what I would do is I would drive down to Niagara Falls, which is about 3 hours, and then I would get in a cab there and have a cab drive me over the border and then to Buffalo, which was the nearest airport, and then from there I would fly down south because I couldn't just get on a plane here without any papers. So the same thing would happen coming back. I would have to fly to Buffalo, then get a taxi to drive me to the border. But depending on which kind of service I got, they wouldn't always be able to drive me over because of the paper requirement. So this guy had dropped me off at the border. I walked about a kilometer to get into Canada in the dead of winter with my luggage.
Shit.
And it's about 10:30 in the evening at this point. I get to the border services building on the Canadian side, and they let me in, and they're just like, let me see your passport, and where is your vaccine card? I'm like, I don't. Here's my passport, but I don't have that at all. And then they detained me for about 2 hours. There were like 8 or 9 officers in the building at this time, and I was the only person there. So and they kept me there for like two or 3 hours. I remember, and my mom had come to pick me up, and my poor mother was waiting outside in the cold, just like, "Where are you?" I'm just like, "Border Services has me." Like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, in order to confirm that I wasn't deadly, instead of having one of these 9 officers that were already decked out in masks and gloves and protective shields everywhere, they had someone call me from Public Health Canada to determine whether or not I was deadly or not.
What?
Instead of just talking to me. And then I explained, because I had gotten another fine like this several months prior, and that's a whole other story, which is even worse than this one. So they took my license as well to like confirm my address and all this stuff, and they're just like, "Here's a fine. It's for a failure to comply." And that's what the FTC means, because you aren't allowed into the country without papers. So when I got it, there's like an option on the back of the ticket, like you can pay by check, pay online, or you can file for early resolution or a court hearing. So I selected that last one, and I just never heard back. And I assumed that it had been dropped because a lot of people I'd talked to who had gotten similar tickets, like it was either they went to court and they had to pay the fine, they went to court, they had to pay a smaller fine, they went to court, they had to pay an even bigger fine, or it was just thrown out altogether. So it really just depended on where you were in the country and what judge you got. So I just assumed mine was just thrown out. And then I came home after I saw the Marvels. Already it's a shit evening.
Oh dear.
I come
Oh,
home
dear.
after seeing the Marvels, and I open this letter. I'm just like, how the fuck are you going to convict me for this when I asked for a trial date?
It's terrible. It sounds like because I lived in Vancouver for I think it was 9 months or 10
Mhm.
months, whatever, and I really liked Canada. I mean, this is what 25 years ago, and I
Mhm.
thought I wanted to actually live there until something happened, and I used to work there as well. But I'm really surprised that Canada's turned into this monster.
I know. And there's still so many people that I remember there were people that were calling in neighbors if you had more than 6 people over there. I used to get a text message about staying safe, because in order to get to work I have to cross through another municipality. So as soon
Dystopia.
like within crossing that border where the municipalities meet, I would always get a text message for about a week saying, "Make sure you stay safe and distance." I'm just like, "Oh god, that's so creepy that they know when I'm not even like in my home region and they're trying to warn me about it."
Mm.
Um the other ticket I got, which is actually for the same amount, it actually happened at Toronto Pearson Airport. And in that instance, they kept me there for over 3 hours. And so it was like 1 or 2 in the morning by the time I got out. But they tried to send me to a quarantine hotel.
What?
Because so I live at home with my parents who are both over 65 for the time being until I move down south. So they said, because your parents are over the age of 65 and they're susceptible, we can't let you go to that residence. I'm like, but I fucking live there. Like it's on my driver's license. It's on all my documentation. And they're just like, it doesn't matter. Like, because one of them isn't vaccinated, we can't let you go. So
It
like, what's
sound,
the and they're like, you have to call. This was a Wednesday evening, and it's like they're like late at night. They're asking me, you need to call and get permission to go home. I'm like, are you serious right now? It's it's close to midnight on a weekday, and you expect 2 individuals over the age of 65 to be awake and answering their phone right now?
It's really it looks like they've gone overboard with this with the safety. I mean, I I used to remember is Canada still because I remember when I first went to Canada and I was having a discussion with somebody in a bar, and I realized that no Canadian would argue with me at all, right?
Um,
And I thought that Canadians were really nice, but now it seems
yeah.
like it's just gone to hell,
Trudeau
Canada.
Castro.
Yeah,
Canadians
I
are a
can't
bunch
believe
of
it.
see you next Tuesdays. Every
Really?
single one of them.
But you're one of them,
Jeez.
though.
Yeah, then maybe I also am a see you next Tuesday. That's your opinion to decide on. But I have met so many
I
more
think the
nicer
jury's out on that, to be fair.
There you go. I've met so many more nicer people in the US in just the last 2-3 years than I have my whole life living in Canada. My whole life.
Really? I mean, I was in Vancouver though, and I really
Mhm,
loved it. I was living in Burnaby in
mhm.
Vancouver, and I lived there for 9 months, and everyone was nice to me. In fact, I can't even remember anyone being horrible to me at all. Even my
It's
landlord was nice to me. He used to get me newspapers every morning and stuff. I thought it was just a fucking great country. I really wanted to live there, but something happened and I had to go back home. But what I'm saying is that I'm really surprised that Canada's gone this way. I got a lot of friends in Canada, and
mhm.
I can't believe it's gone this way at all.
To be fair, I
Trudeau, isn't it?
mean,
Mm,
yeah, well, not only that, but the signs have kind of always been there. It just got really noticeable and dialed up when Trudeau got into office. Trudeau
mm.
Jr. got into office because it was allegedly just as bad when Trudeau Sr. was in office. So,
Apparently, they say Trudeau's gay, but he hasn't come out yet.
have you
Apparently,
seen how he runs, though?
does he run like a woman?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
Ian.
Just
It's like
saying.
seriously, it's like there's a labia down there by the way he runs. Like you wouldn't expect a man like that who's had 3 children to run like that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, as I said, there's a huge rumor. Well, when I was there in Toronto visiting my friend, that was the rumor that he was gay. I don't know if it's true or not, but dear.
Yeah, I'd say that the marriage and kids was a front, but that's just me.
Oh,
Mm,
100% because we already know that he likes to bone kids. So,
uh-oh. Yeah, I just don't understand what happened. I mean, my brother lives in Toronto. You know, he's like a gentle giant, my brother.
mhm.
There's a reason why he
Is
left
he the
London.
one who sat on your Enterprise?
No, that's Richard.
Oh.
Richard. I live with Richard. Yeah,
Do we quickly want to do some spaceships?
going in.
I know nothing about spaceships, so I don't know how much I
Well,
can help.
well, I know nothing, so it's fine. Look
Oh,
who's
hello.
here.
Problem being
Who
Lee.
hasn't slept with Justin Trudeau?
Probby's here, everybody. Hello,
Hello.
Lee.
Did you?
Of course not.
Of course
I
not.
wouldn't touch him with yours. What are you talking about?
That would explain why you're a problem being if you had slept with Justin
I
Trudeau.
love your pussy. I love its spots.
Oh, that's why you're my future ex-husband.
I know.
You're gonna have to cross the border to go and see him. That's for sure.
I'd stroke your pussy day and night.
Oh, I'll show you the white one later. You might like that one even
What?
more.
Oh, I want.
Have you seen
I
the
want
Marvels, by the way,
pussy.
Lee? Have you seen the Marvels, by the way, Lee? You probably haven't.
No, because I value what remaining brain cells I have left in my brain to, not rather than do something so incredibly damaging. I'd rather go back to the 90s and do all that brain hemorrhaging drugs
So would I.
Me
than
too.
sit through that. No,
Yeah.
absolutely
Um,
not.
Here you go, folks. Reniel, hashtag
Shitty ships.
shitty ships. Should we do some ships?
Oh, go on then.
Do we get to ship like characters, like relationships, or it's
all-
just strictly spaceships?
All you have to do is say
Spaceships.
whether you like the design. It's not
Oh.
rocket science. Yeah, that's all you have to
Oh,
say. Yeah.
okay. I thought I had to be an actual nerd for
No,
this.
no,
Okay,
not
okay.
at all.
Thank
Not at all.
goodness.
Not at
No,
all.
no, okay. Right, okay. Bear with me.
If you have made it this far and you
Oh,
are
we've got another
enjoying this
body. Here we
content,
go.
please
Price
like
of
and
reason,
share
everybody.
and
Bear
subscribe.
with me.
Every single click will help this channel grow.
You have
And
to say it in a much more sultry voice, Mega Geek. You're
Oh,
not selling
God.
it at all.
Please consider donating to the channel.
Links are in the description.
That's really
Pinned
creepy rather than
message.
sultry.
No, that it just went 6 to midnight. What do you mean?
Wow.
Price of reason. Are you ready?
Captain Vex is moist.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey!
You're looking black.
That's
Oh,
racist.
okay, hear you.
Oh, there we go. Price of reason, everybody.
Hey.
Hello, Price.
Hey,
There we
thanks
go.
for having me. What's up?
How are you? You all right?
I'm
tell you
good.
what's up.
I
Bloody
also
Marvels.
yeah, I saw the Marvels too. It was terrible.
We'll do some spaceships, and then we'll get back on the Marvels if you fancy that.
Cool.
Great to have you on, mate.
Thanks, man.
Well, it'd be a
Okay.
shame to watch it and not get your frustrations out publicly.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, consider donating channel, blah blah blah. You know the drill. Okay, so
Oh, I love
first
this shit.
spaceship
Oh,
is
yes.
Firefly from Serenity. Who would like to go first? Price of Reason. Do you like this ship? Are you into
mean-
spaceships, etc., etc.? What do you think as a overall design? Your thoughts?
I actually voted for the Milano, but the overall design, it looks pretty cool. I don't dislike it.
Anything you particularly like about it, or
I mean, it kind of looks like a floating private part.
did you see the film and the TV series?
I haven't seen it. I am embarrassed to say that I haven't seen Firefly, so I apologize.
I haven't either, so I'm right there with you.
I
Yeah,
saw the film.
Yeah, I didn't see the TV series, but I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Apparently-
Serenity.
Yeah, it was all right. The movie.
It's what does that? This ship looks like it's modelled on an animal of some sort.
Well, it's like
Isn't
a
it?
horse. Well, it's because Firefly is like a sort of Western in space, isn't it? So, I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
it's very much along the same vein as Blake 7, but with a budget.
I see.
An American. But
So you
yeah.
reckon it looks like a horse, Lee?
I think it's kind of like a space horse thing.
Yeah.
Not in the Star Wars kind of, or Disney
yeah.
Star Wars kind of space horse kind of way. But I think it does have that kind of animal thing about it. I really like it.
There you go, Jam Lama. The movie was awesome. It was an entertaining flick, yes.
Yeah, it was
I enjoyed it.
entertaining.
I should watch it then.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fun.
Angry Llama. It looks like my mom.
Pretty attractive then, we'd have to say.
Vex, you've not seen either of the TV or the movie then?
I have not, but I do agree with the whole animal look. It actually kind of looks like Lugia from Pokemon. If there's any Pokemon fanatics out there, second generation legendary Pokemon. No,
Pass.
it kind of looks like that. It's like the color, the shape, like this front bit. Aside from looking like a cockhead, does kind of look like a neck with a head. So
It looks like a swan.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flamingo.
Go on, Ian. Thoughts? Oh, he's going for a pee.
I love how Price of Reason said good luck.
Good luck. That's his age. So, Lee, are you a fan of the ship then? What do you think? Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, no?
I really do. Is this the only? Because I think I've seen a different design, or is that? Am I imagining that?
I think this is a CGI render. It's not actually off the because it's very difficult to get pictures with enough resolution. So this is a CGI render from.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a different looking version. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Shall we wait for Ian to come back?
No, fuck him.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Oh, here you go. Tom has some thoughts. Here we go. $5. You so-called nerds haven't seen Firefly. What are we paying you for?
Move
Well, I've seen it.
aside. Move
I've seen
aside.
it.
No, move aside. Hold on a minute. Have you seen Blake 7, Tom? Have you seen Blake 7, Tom? If you haven't seen Blake 7,
Fight
get
and
in your
talk.
bin. Because Blake 7 is what Firefly and Lex and all those other ones are all based on. I don't care what anyone says. That is the original show.
I'd also like to defend, the Brown Alliance a little bit here and say, Tom, you pay money because we help you get your rocks off at least twice a week.
Well, Vex does, but
Is
she
that
does it
wrong?
for free.
But, all the British accents really get people going, So just saying, you're paying for, quality sexual release.
I'm sorry.
You
I
heard
wish
me,
I'd had
sexy
some.
brown.
By the
No
way,
sex,
Vex,
please. We're British.
is that you heavy breathing, Vex?
I
Oh,
can't
oh
help
yes.
myself.
Welcome to ASMR on Mr. Brown Alliance. Oh yes, sexy.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, Max Vumfondel. Blake 7 is Napalm.
It is the greatest
Oh.
show ever made.
Heavy breathing, I love it.
Ever badly made, but it was made.
Okay, so Ian, are you back from your piss?
That's a long piss.
I think
He's
he's taking a
old.
shit. At this point.
Ian, are you back from your number 2?
He's laying some
Yeah,
brown
sorry,
babies.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
Thoughts on the ship, and then we'll move on, mate.
I do like it. It does look like a horse, as Lee's pointed out. But it is quite nice design. I just don't understand why you would have such a long neck leading up to the cockpit.
Oh, come
Anyway,
on. You
It's
know
a
the answer
long
to that.
shaft for the
Well,
cockpit.
I think there's a cargo slot under the bottom of the neck, isn't there, on
Beg
the
your
main
pardon.
Oh, is there?
fuselage? Yeah.
It's a
Filthy
really
talk.
nice. I do like it. I do like the design. It's really nice. There's something about it that's quite attractive, actually.
Mm.
So yeah, I do like it.
Much like
Very
me.
erect.
Yes.
Not like me, then.
Cheers,
Okay.
Lee.
Here you go, big friend of the channel. We love Jill. Anti-derivative Jill. I'm working on watching Blake 7 now. I like it so far.
Yeah, just
Brilliant.
forget about the effects and the bad
Avon.
photography.
It's all
Avon is
story,
the
Jill.
greatest-
It's all story. It's all
When did it
story.
come out?
character.
A long time ago.
1977, I think.
78.
81.
Yeah.
BBC's version of Star Wars, basically.
Pretty much. Although I would argue Avon is a much better character than Han Solo. I don't care. Fight me. Fight me.
I thought it was more the Magnificent 7.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it
Magnificent
started off
Seven
that
in
way,
space.
didn't it?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it became a bit of Star Trek, and then it became something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but it's good.
that's Serenity, Firefly, folks.
I do like it. Oh,
The Milano, Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, another CGI render, because getting decent pictures is pretty tricky. So, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've got to admit, I like this. I like
Yeah.
this ship.
It's
I
a
do
sexy
like it.
ship.
Cool.
It is.
Kind of looks like a uterus, doesn't it?
I was thinking that. I was just thinking. I bet Vex is going to talk about
Trust Vex.
her uterus.
But you know, in the first one, Star-Lord was shagging everyone, wasn't he? Because in the
He
first
was.
one, he had that girl, green girl, underneath the thing, didn't he?
He's
when he
been
was on the
cooked
ship?
now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm not surprised it's shaped like that.
I actually didn't know this was called the Milano. It's named after a cookie.
After Alyssa Milano, I think they.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Do you know?
okay.
I'd love to see this ship with the ship from Battle Beyond the Stars.
Mm.
You know, the tits.
Oh,
so
the
you'd have like a
breast.
full.
I could be
song.
wrong, but I vaguely remember, and if I am, it'll be very embarrassing. I thought I read somewhere that James Gunn, I guess Star-Lord is supposed to be growing up in the 80s or whatever on Earth, and Alyssa Milano, 80s, 90s, she was sort of a sexy actress lady that kids sometimes watched on shows or whatever. So I think that the ship is called Milano because of Alyssa Milano. I could be totally off base. I remember reading this.
That sounds kind of familiar, to be fair.
Yeah.
So either I'm a complete, idiot, or that actually is the case that they called it Milano because of Alyssa Milano.
Let's just say it is.
Well, I can look it up.
No, who cares? Just say it is.
No, he's
Tom
right.
Smith.
We're all wrong.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to, because Princess Fiona's got it covered.
you are.
Star-Lord named the ship after his crush, Alyssa Milano.
Oh, okay.
And maybe Alyssa Milano is kind of
correct.
annoying today, but I have to say that in the late 80s, early 90s, or 90s, or whatever, she looked pretty decent.
Oh, she
Well,
was
thank God he
rocking,
didn't have a
yeah.
crush on Pee Wee Herman. That's all I can say.
What would it be called? The Piss.
Hey, the Pee Wee. The
Oh,
wank in the cinema.
so she's the woman in that Witches TV show, right?
Yes.
Charmed.
you-
yes.
Charmed.
Charmed, and she was also in when she was a little girl. She was in Commando.
Oh, we
Yes.
say,
Oh,
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
was.
Commando,
And
yeah.
who's the boss? Who's the boss? Aunt
And who's the
Melrose
boss?
Place.
Yeah, I was going to say, even I knew who's the boss.
Yeah.
Anguilama. I love your avatar. It's really good. I would smash her.
Mm.
There you go.
That sounds pretty violent, man.
I just have to say one thing about her, that I think all these years she built a whole career and even fortune based on men liking her. And
Yeah.
then when she turned, I don't know what age, she became anti-male movement. Men are bad. It's very
Patriarchy
weird.
shit,
Even though they
yeah.
made her career.
Yes,
Yeah.
she all the money she has is because of men. I don't think.
Hello.
Oh, has he gone?
Oh, I don't know. I
Has
think
he-
so.
He's been cancelled by the Milano
Yes.
troop.
He's
or
right
whatever,
though. Ashley
brigade.
Judd did the same thing. Ashley Judd was super hot in the 90s. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
yes.
You
Right.
couldn't watch anything without her being kind of topless or covered in oil or something. And then as soon as she got a little bit too old, she flipped the script and was just like, all men suck.
She's 50 years old.
Yeah.
Would you believe it?
Who is?
Well, that's the ultimate
Alyssa
revenge.
Milano.
That's
Wow.
the ultimate revenge, isn't it?
She still looks good though. She still looks good, man.
Yeah, well,
For 50.
Mhm.
so did Madonna at 15.
Jamalama.
I'd do her.
Crazy bee watch.
I think she's been done.
I guess.
Did we like Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did.
Fun.
I
Yeah.
did.
I
I
thought it
liked
was
the
a lot of fun.
first. Yeah, actually, I liked all three movies. You know, I
I've
don't
not
care.
seen the last one.
I quite enjoyed it. I don't think it's as good. I mean, my friend says the second one is his favorite, actually, which
It was
goes against the
okay.
grain.
It was okay.
I like the first.
I did.
I
I
liked the
liked.
first.
I liked all of them because you know why? Because all three of them had heart. I mean, the last one was a bit woke, but I did care about Rocket. It was good learning Rocket's story. So you know what I mean. So they all have heart, and you know, and you care about the characters, which is the most important thing. They can put as many special effects in
Agreed.
it as they want, but if you don't care about the characters, ain't gonna make.
I like
it's
the
not gonna make
design
anything.
language of the films as well.
Yeah.
And even the third film, I thought there was like the sets and ships and everything that were really, really interesting. And it's very unusual for I think that was the trouble really with the Guardians movies, is that as a Marvel franchise, it doesn't sort of fit in with that for me.
Oh, I don't know. I think it does, but anyway.
I think it's trying
was
to be comic book
Gunverse.
and superhero and science
Gunverse.
fiction, and it's not. You know, it's somewhere in between.
I don't know. I think just the small things that make me laugh is like when Rocket was angry and he was kicking grass, and he said, "I'm so angry, you're making me kick grass," and I thought that was quite funny. So it was just the little things that made me laugh. You know, in the first one. The first one was very good.
Rocket's great.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best characters in the Marvel universe, in my opinion.
Definitely.
I think the first one was the best one, then the third one, and then the second one for me.
Here you go, folks. Anti-derivative Jill has sent a $4 super sticker. I don't know what it is, but it's a super sticker. Thank you, Jill.
And it's super.
And it's from Jill, who's also super. Okay, so that is...
I'd love to have that as a toy.
I think you can buy them.
Can you?
Yeah.
I'd love to have it.
See, here we go. I'll agree with this. Jamalama, I liked the Christmas special here. That was really
I
good.
did. I thought it was funny. I thought
Yeah.
the Christmas special was
I
funny.
still haven't seen that.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Really funny. Yeah. Where they captured Kevin Bacon. It was absolutely hilarious.
Did you see the tweet yesterday? Apparently, Kevin Bacon's not eating bacon anymore.
He did the dance, didn't he? He did the same dance he did in Footloose on Instagram. So yeah. Anyway, let's move along, shall we?
Yeah, here we go. Angry Llama. I got the Lego set. Wow.
What of the spaceship?
That's
I
pretty cool.
didn't know they had a Lego set.
Nor did I.
I bet that looks pretty damn good.
I'd buy that for $1. Should we move on? My brain didn't work then. Let's move on.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Buck
Oh,
That does look nice.
it does.
Buck Rogers Starfighter or Thunder Fighter, everybody. Look
Oh,
at that.
It was what you call it. It was the toys had to have that bar across those two bits.
the
didn't
UK
it?
ones, but not
Yeah.
the US ones, I think.
Peeps, who's not voted yet, please vote for the Starfighter. We can't have Serenity beating
Yeah,
the Starfighter.
I voted for this one because I loved it as a kid. I had the toy as a kid.
So did
Folks,
I.
if you've not voted, please vote Starfighter. please.
What made me laugh is when it used to be landed and it was in the spaceport, they had those disco lights that was fueling it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Little disco lights. Oh dear.
So good. I was
this is-
recently rewatching
Buck Rogers.
Oh,
Buck
it's
Rogers.
great.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's still very entertaining.
The rejected design for the Colonial Viper from Battlestar, this is, isn't it?
A similar takeoff as well, you know, but the
Yeah.
fly through the thing. Yeah.
I've got the model kit of this somewhere. The
Vex,
monogram.
have you
model
ever
kit from?
seen Buck Rogers? And it
No, I guess maybe it's a bad thing to say on this channel, but I'm just not a huge sci-fi person. That's
Oh, but it's so camp and fun and
You'd love it,
70s.
Vex.
It's
Yeah,
it's not that I
joy.
have like an aversion to it. It just is never usually my go-to. Like when I like the fantasy stuff, it's like monsters. So
bitty bitty bitty.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I love this ship. You can't, apart
It's
from the
perfect.
window. I thought the window's a bit weird, but it's really, really nice
It's
design,
perfect.
isn't it? It's like Concorde for spaceships, isn't it?
It's
It
just
looks like
gorgeous.
it. Yeah.
here you go. See, I saw this Princess Fiona. There is 1 meter long. Yeah, I think the guy said it's about 38 inches long. 3D printed model of this on
it's
eBay.
every man's dream right there, isn't it? 38 inches.
It looked incredible. I'm really, really tempted to buy it as well as a present to myself because I love the Starfighter.
Hold on. So, Vex, what kind of TV shows did you grow up with then as a kid?
I watched a lot of anime as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Star Trek and like Stargate, all that stuff was on, but I just never really got into it. So I watched a lot of, anime and then
Press the eject button, bro.
just anime, yeah.
But what about X-Files then? Because that had Monster of the Week. Did you used to
I
watch
watched that into my in my 20s. I watched X-Files instead because it was always on TV too late, so I was never up to watch it. But I liked Supernatural, which followed a very say Monster of the Week kind of thing for a few seasons, and that
I used to stay awake at night when I shouldn't have been just to watch V when that was on. So there is no excuse.
Yeah, V's great.
Love that.
Price, you a
Yes.
fan of this spaceship?
I think that it's a nice spaceship. Yes, I kind of like it. It looks.
Have you seen Buck Rogers?
I have as a kid. I've seen some of it, but I wasn't growing up. I was more Star Wars, more Star Trek.
Yeah.
Those things I've watched every single. I mean, I've seen every Star Trek episode, pretty much on every one of the series, except for not the Kurtzman one, but I mean. From the original series up till Enterprise, I've seen every episode except for Voyager. I haven't seen all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, Voyager's okay. I have a soft spot for Voyager.
Yeah, I like Voyager.
I didn't dislike it, but somehow all the other shows really, I feel like they captured me more. When I have time, I'm going to go and finish Voyager because I have watched some of it. I like their virtual doctor. There were some things I liked about it, but
yeah,
I feel
the Doctor Robert Picardo is fantastic.
Right, Robert Picardo. There were some good things there. I just somehow I don't know why that one didn't grab me as much as the other ones did. And Buck Rogers, I've seen it as a kid, but it had was it Gil Gerard? What was his name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gil Gerard.
I remember the general idea of it, but I remember thinking that it's not as good as Star Wars, which I guess in my mind at the time I was sort of comparing it to.
Same thing here. I was remember when Battlestar Galactica started, I was like, this is a big rip off of Star Wars, and I didn't watch it. I watched a few episodes, but when it got re-shown on TV, I watched a few, but that was about it really, because I was a Star Wars nerd myself. So I did like Buck Rogers though, I got to admit, only because of Wilma Daring. She was gorgeous.
And it was on
Beady
at the
Beady.
same time as Doctor Who, wasn't it? In the
Oh, yeah,
UK,
Saturday
so-
nights. Yeah,
Doctor Who, I'm a big
tough.
fan.
yeah.
I've seen every episode of, again, not the
Wow.
up until Timeless Children. After that, I stopped watching. But every single episode of Doctor Who that's ever aired, I believe I've seen.
Including the classic series.
Oh, that's the main one that I like. I mean, I like the new one too, but of course the classic series.
Good man. Well, who's your favorite Doctor?
Okay, my favorite one has to be Tom Baker.
Yes.
That
man.
You've passed, mate.
Yes. Pass flying
passed.
colours.
You've
Flying
passed the
colours,
test.
everybody.
I can't imagine. I mean, sure, somebody may like Pertwee or maybe
He's my
I
second
do.
favorite. Very close.
I like Pertwee and I like Hartnell and I like Troughton. Those first four I think I really like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when it
Hartnell's
came
my
to
third favorite.
Davison, I mean, he was all right, I guess. And Colin Baker I liked even less. And then Sylvester McCoy, maybe I liked him a little more than Colin, but not that much.
Same
I
here.
guess.
That's when it died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really.
And then from the newer one, I liked Eccleston and I liked Tennant, and I think I was okay with Matt Smith and pretty cool with Capaldi, even though the material wasn't good during his era.
Yeah.
But once Jodie arrived, that's the end of that whole franchise.
Yeah, same here. Same here. But you're what you call it? You're just said the thoughts of thousands of people that are fans of Doctor Who. We all think the same way. The Jodie thing destroyed it.
And
Completely
Shooty
destroyed
Gay
it.
Wank is gonna
Who?
tank it. Shooty Gay Wank.
Gay wank.
Yeah.
Moving on. Okay.
They're just going to do a thing where they bring David Tennant for an episode or two. People may watch it, and then they're going to just do more of the stuff that we don't
Bait
like,
and
I think.
switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Russell T Davis come out and say if you didn't like the casting of the new trans person, you trans hate all this kind of stuff, then you can what was it he said? You can go and live a life alone. And I was like, what a load of, I mean, how can you come back into the show and start throwing your weight around and then telling the fans that you like it or lump it? I mean, that's never really worked before, has it?
Who cares?
Well, that's depressing as fuck. Shall we move on?
Yes, please.
And the next spaceship is
Cylon Raider BSG 2004.
I thought this design was a bit too on the nose.
Yeah, I don't like it.
With the whole Cylon face being
It's ugly.
Cylon. Yeah.
It's a living ship. This.
I know.
It's ugly.
I
like
like the
it.
original
Yeah.
Cylon ships.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Xenomorph, the head a little bit. I like it.
I
Yeah.
will say, Vex,
Mhm.
you've not watched Battlestar Galactica 2004.
I have not, no.
Wow.
I think you'd really, really like it.
That's ugly.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
It's really grounded sci-fi. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm willing to give anything a
It's
shot.
really good.
It's very intense in many places, and the stakes are really, really high,
Mhm.
and it's kind of the progenitor to things like Game of Thrones, because you don't know who's going to make it and who isn't, and it's got that element to it, which is it was quite groundbreaking at the time.
I haven't actually watched Game of Thrones either.
Even though Blake Seven did it first.
Here you go, Kendrick Lamar. Here you go. BSG 2004 is so overrated.
So overrated.
Overrated.
Yes, darling, it's so
Why is it
I'll-
overrated? I'm curious now.
Because I don't think we'd had any sci-fi which was so gritty and grounded.
You got to look
Oh,
at
it
it
kind
in
of
the,
goes against.
in
Sorry,
the
go
time it was made. There wasn't really anything quite like it. I mean,
Yeah.
when we thought, oh, Battlestar Galactica, it's that camp show from the the early 80s, and it's going to be all sort of capes and brown capes and disco, and no, it was was very, very militaristic, and it was very, very earthy. You know, even though it's set in space, but it had that real grit and edge to it, as you quite rightly say. I think it
Kind of
was
went
very
against the grain of
it was very
everything else in
different.
sci-fi. Okay.
Yeah, it was very. It was more
Swappers,
like a military sort of naval story, but in space. You know?
Swappers he likes it even more than I like it. He loves BSG.
I hate the ship design though. It sucks. It
I
really
don't
does.
mind it. I just think it's a bit too on the nose. You know, with the whole Cylon
Yeah.
face being on
Yeah,
the
the other Cylon ships were better designed, much more
being
pleasing
built
to
by
the
Night
eye.
Industry.
Much more, as I said, much more pleasing to the eye. The other Cylon ships are from the 70s.
Yeah, I
That's how
prefer
back to
the.
go.
I prefer
Yeah.
that one.
Here you go. Tom has some thoughts. From the very first episode, they told us that the Cylons have a plan. And by S3, it was clear that the writers did not.
Mm-hmm.
I think a writer's strike had something to do with it as well, if I remember correctly.
Who remembers A-Team when they had Face Man and in the credits the Cylon walks past him, doesn't he? And he
Yes.
that was fun.
They even put that in the opening titles, didn't they? After that,
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
People are posting the link to that Starfighter. I will say, I think I'm going to buy it, so don't make him sell out, please.
Don't buy it, everybody.
Unless
Don't
if
buy it.
he has a whip round and buys me it for Christmas. But anyway, okay. So overall, are we a fan of the ship? Yes, no? I think it's
Yes.
okay.
It's all right.
It's horrible.
I was disappointed when I first saw it because I wanted to see the proper Cylon ships. But okay.
Yeah. I will say, folks, you've got about 30 seconds to vote.
Vote for your favorite spaceship.
Not that it's going to make any difference, so I may as well just...
Oh, shit.
I may as well just close it.
Cylon Raider.
Okay, let me advance my graphics. Talk amongst yourselves.
Rhubarb.
Okay, I'm going to close the poll, folks. End poll.
Grab the end of his pole. Quickly.
Ooh.
End of
I
line.
will take anything.
I'm sure.
Okay, 72 votes, folks, which isn't bad considering we just turned up.
And look who else turned up.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Those three.
Yeah, unbelievable. Okay, in reverse order. Milano, Guardians of the Galaxy, 20%.
What?
Cylon Raider, BSG 2004, 22%. I'm devastated, folks.
No.
Buck Rogers,
No.
Starfighter,
Bad people.
23%. Mr. Brown is devastated, everybody.
Shame on you all.
And the winner, Serenity, Firefly, 33%.
Wow. Clear winner.
Clear winner.
That's only because the Liberator wasn't in there. That's why.
The Liberator.
Okay. Do we want to do another round of spaceships and talk shit for a bit?
No, we want to talk shit. Don't want to do
I
another
thought we were
round of
going to go
spaceship.
back to the Marvels a bit.
Marvels again, yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay, then we'll do that.
Oh,
then.
yeah. Well, I mean, Price can tell us what he thought.
That's right.
About
Since he
the
suffered it.
Marvels?
Yeah, tell us
Marvels.
everything you loved
Tell
about
us
the
everything
Marvels.
you love about
Well, I'll
it.
take a couple of seconds.
Everything I love. The only good thing that I can say about it, and it's not really a good thing, is that the cast itself, I actually went into the movie thinking that they'll annoy me, like the ladies, the actresses and everything. I thought that I wouldn't like them. And at the end, I thought that they were fine. It's just that the screenplay was so bad that it doesn't really matter what they do, because... And I also, there was all this tension. They kept saying that they're fighting with each other, but I couldn't really tell from watching the movie. They seemed to have pretty good chemistry together, but the writing here is some of the worst I've seen within the MCU, and we've had some real stinkers in recent years, and this still somehow stands out as even worse. You could obviously tell this thing was being reshot over and over again. there's just changes in tones. That scene that they start singing with the prince, the K-pop prince, that part, I'm just like, I couldn't, I didn't even understand what the movie was doing at that point. That really was a point of the movie where I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this is actually in this movie. And yeah, so there was that. The whole first 40 minutes, I think, they keep switching their power and they're in Kamala Khan's living room. That feels like a CW show. Like for 40 minutes, you're inside her living room. That doesn't sound like something you go to the theater for.
No.
And it was all spoiled by the trailers anyways. Like every single action sequence we saw in the trailers, there's nothing that we haven't seen.
Right.
Unfortunately.
No surprise.
I got the impression that when they reshot, they were actually trying to get rid of some of the woke stuff, and they probably got rid of a lot of the woke stuff as well. But it was still in there, though. The whole idea that they were never in danger.
Probably because it was saturated throughout the entire thing.
You said what I liked. I think that I liked when I saw it. I thought to myself, like what you just said, that they must have deleted any kind of agenda stuff. It still ends up being a movie kind of like that Ahsoka series where there's no men in it, and you don't quite. It feels like there was initially some of that kind of stuff in there and they just deleted it or tried to replace it or reshoot it, but at least it's not there. So it's not offensive in the sense that it brings all these kind of annoying ideologies. It's offensive just because it's very poorly written.
Yes, agreed.
Which I guess is better.
So it's white girl black magic.
Right. Ian, why is black women so ugly again? Look, right? Black women are not ugly. There are some really gorgeous black women in this world, but why do they cast ugly black women in Marvel?
I think Monica's kind of cute. She got a nice badonka.
She was pregnant. The actress was pregnant, and I think they kept bringing her for reshoots, and they didn't know what to do. This is something I heard that if you watch it in different scenes, she looks one way and then she looks another way, and she gained weight and they were trying to cover it up. So I'm going to be more lenient. When I see her on WandaVision, I thought she looks pleasant enough.
Yeah, look, see? That's that word, pleasant, not beautiful, not outstanding, not sexy. Sorry, right? But I'm sorry, right? But every time they bring a woman on anything now, they just don't reach the standards of how we had in the 80s and the 90s.
At least she didn't look like Maria Rambeau, because Maria Rambeau literally looks like Red Skull, but with a nose.
Yeah, it's true. That is
I like her better than Maria Rambeau, if I may say.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Fanor, ugly is kind. And then
okay, let me. Oh, sorry, go. Just
don't look at the face, gentlemen.
Look, right? You remember Poltergeist? Do you remember the film Poltergeist? The first one, yeah, right? The mother. The mother was hot. When those things were chasing her, all she had was a t-shirt on and great legs running around. Do you know what I mean? This is what I mean.
Look who's here, everybody.
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
He's a knockout.
I thought, Will, you was fantastic in Independence Day, mate. Really good, mate.
All I'm saying is that...
And Men in Black, really, really good.
All I'm saying is that in the 90s, right, in the 80s, there were so many good, gorgeous looking women on screen that you could just...
Well, we've got one here now. Hello, Vex.
I'm not black.
Hello, Professor.
You are now.
I don't think that it's a matter of skin color. I think that these days, anytime they cast, they're not looking for those kind of drop dead gorgeous ladies. They're looking for ones that look.
That's my point.
Pretty okay. Yes.
But right, the black women they cast, right? They can do better, Senator. They can do better.
They're bigoted because they didn't cast a man to play her.
It's so they don't cast beautiful people. It's so the ugly people don't get
offended.
Right. They don't want to trigger the people.
Hi, Artoo.
Hey.
They don't want to trigger the average-looking person.
There we go.
But the average person doesn't want to see themselves reflected on screen. They want to see beautiful people.
I agree.
I want to see hot chicks on screen. I don't want to see, frumpy chicks.
Cynical Drinker, ¿cómo estás?
Hello, Cynical Drinker.
Tambien.
Muy bien.
Or tambien if you're Mexican. There you are.
Just saying. We need more attractive women on screen. In fact, in the Marvels, they tried with Brie. It was like a half-ass effort to try and make her look attractive, but they did try something at least. So it just feels like the woke stuff is slowly being edged out. They realize that this is what's spoiling movies, but they don't want to admit it.
If we're talking about black women, let's talk about the fucking villain as well. What the
Oh,
fuck's going
God.
on with her?
Yeah, I know.
Because she was wearing this weird cardboard box for the first half of the film.
Yeah.
Then they decided to put her hair down. Then they gave her a grill. And she's always just scout like.
Did she have purple hair?
Yeah, they.
Why
gave her
did they
red
always have
hair.
purple hair? Why? What's with the purple hair? Can
Don't
someone
know.
explain?
Purple hair's
No.
I think
Don't
does it come
know.
from that feminist poem "I shall wear purple," like whatever it is. It's some
I had a
weird-
very mean thought when I watched the movie about that villain, but I probably shouldn't say it. I said to myself, "You shouldn't say this."
Yeah, go on, say it.
Say it.
She
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like they were looking for a diverse Emilia Clarke.
Ah.
Oh.
She's
Yeah,
British.
yeah.
She's British.
Coincidentally, was Tom Hiddleston's missus.
Oh,
What
okay.
a surprise.
She's
Uh,
she's
Artoo-
actually not
Nepotism
a bad
whatsoever.
actress though. Like I've seen her in
Yeah,
other
I've seen
stuff,
and
and
stuff.
she's
Yeah.
she's
She's-
pretty good. She's just not the
Not in
again the,
that.
the script. It all boils down to the script in this movie.
Yes.
It's all crap.
But you want a villain that's threatening and commands.
They
the
could have
screen.
brought back Jude Law. Jude Law's character was still alive,
He
and
was
he's
too
an
much
actor.
money.
What?
Too much money.
Well, they wasted 300 million. What's another million?
I agree with Brown. With 270 million, just give him $1 million. Maybe he can do something better.
And then you could have had White Man Bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
At least he's attractive too. Is the other thing. So he would have brought some sex.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
R2, you've seen it.
I did.
Why?
Sadly. Morbid. Someone in the chat said morbid curiosity. I think that would have to be the reason. I don't know, but yeah.
What do you
Awful.
think? Thoughts?
Just awful. Wow. The worst. I mean, they've had some crummy villains. Worst villain. I was not interested at all in anything that was happening in the plot. I will admit the actresses were not nearly as terrible as I kind of would have expected.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, I did as well.
Miss Marvel. I thought she did a really good job. Yeah, she was kind of annoying in that, teenager kind of way, but that's who she was supposed to be, right? I mean, that
At least
made
she was
sense.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she had some fun, and she had some funny lines in it, and I mean, there were a few laughs. I can't say the whole thing was a disaster, but man,
Were they?
just
I
when you
didn't
put
laugh
when you
once.
put all the little pieces together, there were a couple places where I had a nice giggle. I liked when they were escaping. Of course, the terrible escaping with the cats thing.
Oh.
Where did the cats come from, though?
Oh,
Had
Flurkin
babies.
was
Had babies.
pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was
Oh.
left
laying
eggs everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't you think it was coincident? What a coincidence.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
that
Oh,
they were-
there's so many coincidences
What a
and so many
coincidence, eh?
strange things that had. It just happens to be that those bangles were used to create the entire hyperspace network all the way through the galaxy.
which
That's what I'm
again
saying.
doesn't make sense because
Makes
Guardians
no
of the
sense
Galaxy already
at all.
introduced it. So half of the villain's purpose for this film is already gone because it's something
Yeah.
that exists in this universe.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like a 5-year-old wrote the script. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
let's just put that in. Why? Don't worry, it's just in there. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
To
what?
me, it just felt like a whole bunch of scenes that they sort of stitched together into something.
Yes.
It did not feel at all like there was an actual script with a plot and setups and payoffs and anything. It was just a bunch of little scenes that they thought this will be funny. Let's throw that in. Let's set this thing up where she's a princess on a planet, but she's actually the guy's beard. Let's set that up. I don't know. It's
Also,
it's
what's up with
terrible.
the costume? Her
Oh.
first costume. Why didn't her arms reach down? Why did it stop halfway up? It's like, did it shrink in the wash or something? I don't
Wait,
know.
for whose
Don't
costume?
know.
Miss Marvel's. the first costume she was wearing, it like the arms didn't come down to the
Yeah, it's like
wrists.
3/4 sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Oh,
just-
weird.
oh no, that's just how a Punjab is. That's all it is. It's not like
no,
a
no,
fitting-
No.
no, the other
Captain
one.
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Her
Captain
outfit,
Marvel.
The
Yeah.
blonde girl. The blonde girl.
it stops in the middle of her forearms.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
you're
whatever
right.
reason.
It does, and then she's got gloves on.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Maybe it's cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
But she does look good in it, though. Much better than the costume she had in the first one, that's for sure. At least they were trying to show her curves or whatever curves she had. You
Hey,
know what I
call me
mean?
Mark.
So, yeah.
Good to see you.
Didn't mind the dress that she had on during
The
that
dress was so
singing
fucking
scene.
ugly. What are you talking about, Artoo?
was, it was
Oh my
ugly.
god, no.
It was.
It
it was-
showed a little bit of her, not just a whole bunch of
Okay.
plastic.
Okay, then question:
Um,
do we feel sorry for Brie in her own movie?
No,
No.
because she's making a
Fuck
crap load
her.
of money. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she's making out like a bandit. She's making plenty of
It
money.
wasn't made for her.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
I would. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to say that I mean she's annoying, Brie Larson, and I've never really said anything good about her, and probably she's probably annoying now too. But somehow after so many years of criticism, you know, sometimes these younger actresses, they have a lot of handlers around them telling them all this stuff, telling them how stunning and brave they are, and the success goes to their head. I guess there's a part of me that feels empathy for somebody that just doesn't really understand and is sort of being manipulated a certain way. It doesn't mean she doesn't have any responsibility, but I try to look at the human angle and think that sometimes these young ladies, even that Rachel Zegler, who's even more annoying than Brie Larson somehow, I feel bad because there's nobody there telling her, listen, you got to shut up now.
It's true.
I can see where you're coming from, and like I do agree with you to a certain. Actually, you know what? I would be completely sympathetic for them if it weren't for the fact that, like when they're away from their handlers, they're still acting like little coons,
Yes, they're annoying. I mean,
right? So
they make it hard to like them or to feel empathy,
Yeah.
but I think that sometimes young people like that in an industry like this are often misguided, and it doesn't mean that we have to accept their behavior, but I still sort of see that aspect of it, even though they're annoying.
I get you. I
Oh,
get you.
they're
When-
absolutely surrounded by people telling them they're amazing and telling them what to think. And of course, there's such an echo chamber in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Look, but
The-
when you're living in LA, right, you get sucked into the way they are down there. Like, for instance, I had a friend that used to live in Brixton, which is, I mean, if you guys know where Brixton is, obviously not in England. It's like a shithole basically. And then she moved.
Shit, everybody.
She moved to LA, and now I see her. You know, when I talk to her, she's all like, "Yeah, I went for a pedicure and blah blah blah, whatever." You know what I mean? She's completely changed. She's sucked into that kind of way of being, you know, living in LA, and that's what I think has happened to these young actresses that just get sucked into this stuff and believe all the crap that they've been told. But common sense is a good indicator when you're going through life. And if they don't have any common sense, they're fucked, basically, aren't they? Just like
Bree's in her
Zegler and the rest of them.
mid-30s now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know, look, she's a good actress. I've seen her in a couple of stuff. And I
Yeah,
think she's
agreed.
really good. But, right, if you don't have any common sense, you might as well just give up. Because she obviously doesn't have any common sense by saying all that crap that she said. You know, like, this is not for white men. White men shouldn't be reviewing this film. And all that nonsense. You can't tell me that someone that says that stuff doesn't know that's bollocks, what they're saying. I'm sorry. She's either, if she believes what she's saying, she's really stupid. That's all I can say. So there you go.
Here you go, folks. Redhead. A
Redhead.
redemption. I met Mega Geek at the FNT meetup too.
Did you? Did we?
Disrespectful, Ian.
No, I don't.
Wow.
I met a lot of people who was there. Did you say hello to me? I don't know. Oh no, help
I
me,
like that username though, Redhead Redemption. I like that a lot.
help me.
Here you
Yeah,
go,
if-
folks.
If Netflix did a special on Redhead Redemption, she would be a black woman.
She'd be a black old woman. Yep.
Yeah.
MJuke84. I'm 40 next year.
Oh, baby. Oh, so you little baby.
40's the new 30, though.
It
That's
is.
what feminism tells me, at least.
Yeah.
It is, but I'll tell you, 48 is the next 60. Did I miss? Oh,
Here you
on
go,
that one.
Princess Fiona. I had to read this before. Here we go. It's bad data syndrome. That's what happens when your information doesn't line up with reality. It will always end up in disaster. At Mr. Brown Alliance. That's me. Cynical. I do love new faces. Cynical drinker. Hello. Here you go. Rachel Zegler really hit the spotlight of nowhere. Seems like she somewhere to get there.
She's got a mouth big enough for it, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing
Yeah.
she's got any time to actually form words when she's got all that guzzling to do.
It's
I'm
a
sure
shame.
she was
Mouthwash.
saying all the right
Jeez.
things.
It's
And
a shame,
she's
really.
intersectional feminist and whatnot.
It's a shame.
you
She
know.
could make. She
Blah.
could have been a
Weird.
huge star, but she had
Yes.
to open her mouth, didn't she? So
Well,
But
she'd,
again,
have to,
like-
she'd have to shave that caterpillar off her face, mind you.
Oh.
But no, like Price of Reason brought up a good point though. Like a lot of the shit she's probably spewing is because this is what her handlers are telling her to say.
No,
but
no,
then
no,
at the
no, no,
same
no. It's not
time-
handlers. No. It's they look for these people. These people are already raised in that culture.
The true believers.
That is genuinely what they are like. They're just
I'm
awful,
trying to.
awful
I'm trying
people.
to be less heartless. So
No,
pick one.
fuck her. She's a cow.
If I may, and I say this as somebody with a bit of
may.
experience. I'm not saying I'm not like some big shot in this industry or anything, but just for some of my personal experience in the past, a lot of times also you have these type of events in Hollywood. They do an event, maybe they're celebrating some kind of cause, and then you sort of want to get invited, especially if you're up and coming or you're trying to grow your brand or whatever it is, and you want to get invited to these events, and then they invite you to them, and then obviously if you go there, they expect you to say certain talking points, certain things. I guess what I'm saying that there's a certain culture there that you want to succeed in this system.
Yes, but shit attracts flies.
Right. Maybe you're right. Maybe the people that are
Jeez.
attracted to this are of like-minded people, but I still think that somehow, in some cases, I think that there's sort of a system that sort of
Climbers.
recruits them for these kind of causes, if that makes any sense.
Groomers and climbers. There's a thing.
I did not like LA when I was out there at all. Just the people were just
Very
never
artificial.
appealed to me. It's never appealed to me. Never. Even when I was younger, I wanted to do acting, and I it never appealed to me, the whole Hollywood thing. I did a lot of film extra work, but that was pretty much easy money. I had no pretensions that it was going to lead anywhere, but it was fun. But when it, the whole idea of ever going to somewhere like Hollywood, no, it just sounds like a black hole.
Cricklewood, more like.
Anybody
Anybody see the trailer for the Hunger Games
No, can't
Yes.
be
while
don't
watching
care.
the Marvels?
Well,
She's in that, isn't she?
it actually they played the trailer before the film. So I saw it, and I don't want to see that film. It looks like rubbish.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like the original series of films. Why would I like the prequel? Doesn't matter who's in it.
I couldn't stand the book, in all honesty. I haven't seen the movies yet, but I read the first book this past summer. Oh god, what a garbage young adult literature. Oh my goodness.
I think I watched the first 2 movies and then I stopped. Of the other series, of the one with Jennifer Lawrence. I watched
the
the
Hunger
2
Games, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first 2. It had Woody Harrelson in it. He's a good actor. And
I
that's
just don't understand how they managed to eke it out to 3 films. I didn't see the point. It just seemed to drag out.
I think it was 4 movies. Didn't the
Was it
last one have
4?
2 parts? That's why I gave up. I'm like, I'm not
Really?
watching 2 movies again now.
Here you go, Princess Fiona. Zegler scamming and whining her way to the Oscars didn't help her cause. That was all her own entitlements, and someone else lost out because of it.
Very true.
At Mr. Brown Alliance, that's me.
I agree with that. I think there's so many really talented, good people out there who probably just do not share the same odious, stupid politics that they would never get a look in. And I think it's such a shame to base absolutely everything on the contents of your politics rather than your personality. I think that's just so cynical and superficial. But that's Hollywood in a nutshell. They jump on the bandwagon and they're the last to get off, even when it's costing them billions of dollars.
The sad part is that a lot of the people there that are the ones that are the loudest about all these wonderful causes, a lot of times they're not such great people.
No.
And that really, we see that time and time again, and I've actually encountered stuff like that, and that's kind of a bummer for me.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. But then that's always the way, isn't it? People want to be seen to be doing the right thing, or seen to be proactively engaged in all these wonderful highfalutin ideals. But really, they're just narcissists doing it for the applause rather than for the actual cause.
Right.
But is this what it's just generational now, though, isn't it? The younger generation are.
They're the most conformist bunch I've ever come across.
Yeah, it's because of
all my years on this planet. I've never
been given a smartphone when they were a child.
It's conformity on the level of of the silent generation. You know, the post-war, or that generation who just did as they were told, and sort of deferred to authority and didn't question anything. It's kind of like going back to that. They don't question authority. They don't question anything, but they all. If you speak to one person of that mindset, you know exactly what the rest of them are thinking, because they all say and think the same thing, and it's very disconcerting. There's no nuance at all. It's whatever the headline is, they believe it. That's it.
There you go. Mav ST, the Zegler phenomenon also happens in corporate companies.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a generational thing. I think that she's a good representative, good quote unquote representative of her generation.
Well, that's a condemnation if ever I heard one.
That's a generation that has grown up basically knowing a society that is practically ruled by cancel culture.
Well, I have a 24-year-old friend who is not woke at all, questions absolutely everything, gives me absolute hope, and he's autistic. But
that's probably why.
That's why.
He is so acutely aware, and he says things because he's got no filter particularly, but he says things as it actually is. And I'm sitting there sort of almost scratching my forehead going, I don't want to sort of affirm what he's saying, but he knows. I don't need to affirm it for him. I don't need
probably one of the few of that generation whose life is not completely ruled and thoughts are not completely
but he's very depressed
through social media.
He's very depressed by it because he feels he can't be himself because he knows everything is stacked against him. That's awful. Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of so many who are just too weary of everything around them that they daren't really say anything because they know the consequence. And as we all get told, it's a consequence culture. Ugh. No, it's not. It's rabid conformity. It's fascistic in its overreach, and it's unquestioning dogma. And it is like a massive cult that seems to have taken over globally. It's insane. And how people just, at that age have to, I can't imagine being 24 and having to go through all that.
Someone got out of bed the wrong side this morning.
Me. I'm always the wrong side of bed every morning, every day.
Is everybody okay to continue to 2 hours 30?
Yeah.
I might have to shoot.
Your load?
Yeah. No, I just. Yeah,
he already did that. Now he has to rest.
No, that's why he's in the toilet for so long.
People want to do another round of spaceships, and they're good ones as well, Ian. Go on, you can.
No, I can't. Seriously, I've got work tomorrow. Would you believe?
What?
Sunday? Yeah. Yeah. So I might have. I'll go at 2. I'll go. It's only 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and I'll be out.
Quick! Reset the timer. Reset the timer. Stop the stream and start it again.
Tell me the clocks are going backwards.
I don't know. I mean, Lee, what time do you normally go to bed?
I don't have a normal
I know you
anything.
don't, mate. I know you
Right,
don't.
I'm very with the wind. You know.
Like a fart.
Yeah.
Go full EFAP.
Brownie,
10
yeah.
hours later.
Are they still going? I bet
10
they are.
hours. Here we
No,
go.
they've stopped. They've stopped. They've stopped.
A
So
short
there you
one,
go.
was it? Okay.
I don't know. But they're
You
not
can't
long.
make another 30 minutes then, Ian. Because after all, it was your idea to stream.
It wasn't my it was.
emotional
my idea.
blackmail.
It was.
Blackmail.
I go to 2:30 in the morning, I guess. Okay, go on.
Sorry, Ian. I'll put the new vote up. Talk amongst yourselves, folks.
Just look at some attractive black women. That will get you going.
I have actually.
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
me
okay,
going
very
out.
Yeah, where's Halle Berry when
Halle
you do?
Berry's gorgeous. Even
Isn't
now,
she
she's
half white
gorgeous.
though, Halle Berry?
I don't know.
Yes.
Iman in the prime.
Lupita Nyong'o. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I think she's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same with Vivica A. Fox in her prime.
Oh,
Sure.
gosh, yeah.
Precious in her prime.
Body positivity. Yes.
Who's that girl that died in a plane crash? Vanity.
Aaliyah?
Oh,
Aaliyah. She was
Aaliyah.
gorgeous.
Aaliyah, yeah.
Aaliyah, she's gorgeous. She absolutely.
She apparently
knocked
got
out.
passed around quite a bit before she
Oh
died,
my.
unfortunately.
What?
Is
That's
that
the
why
rumor.
the plane crashed?
Well, no, that's the rumor as to why she ended up dying in the first place was who was Beyonce's husband? Jay-Z.
Mhm.
And Dr. Dre and some of their associates were passing her around, and it just wasn't because she also got oh my god, there was someone that she was engaged to or in a relationship
Was
with
it
when she
R.
was
Kelly? R. Kelly or something?
maybe she was 14 or 15 though at the time, and the guy was
Oh,
like in
well,
his
probably.
mid-30s. Yeah, because she was only 21 when she passed
I
away.
think that was R. Kelly. He would produce her albums, and then I guess he considered her. Well, I should
That-
probably be quiet now.
Uh,
Yeah.
felt
Lawyers
some
and-
ownership there,
Mhm,
perhaps.
mhm.
I see.
But
Maybe she just got too old at 21.
there were loads of good-looking black girls,
Oh, of course.
black actresses and stuff. So I don't know. I don't understand why they keep casting the rotten ones, as I would say.
Trying
Okay,
to
polls up,
dilute our
everybody.
sensibilities a little bit, right? Make ugly the new beauty.
Oh God,
Beautiful. There we go.
Why?
Okay, shall we do?
Depopulation agenda, maybe.
It is. That's a lot to do with it. Depopulation.
Mhm. Degrowth.
I'm trying to think when was the last time they had a new kind of star that looks drop dead gorgeous. I'm trying to think of a new one from recent years, and I can't really think of it.
That's a good. Actually, that's a good question.
I mean, what do you mean by recent years
Oh, I mean,
exactly? What's
they-
the?
Let's
They,
go
they
the
want
last
them all
5
to
years.
look like Phoebe Waller-Bridge now. I mean,
Right.
that's
Let's
a,
in the past 5 years, who have they introduced that's sort of a new actress that looks stunning?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
You have to go back further than 5. You have to go back further than
Yeah,
5
I
years.
think the last one was probably Eva Green.
Eva Green, nah, she's.
I thought she was
plain.
beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very
Ugh.
nice eyes. She was very strange. I remember walking to the loo. when we
Eva
were
Green?
Filming. Yeah, we were filming Dark
Casino
Shadows,
Royale.
and she walked past
Yeah.
me, and she had this assistant with her umbrella up over her, like it was sunny, so she was hiding her face. And as I walked past, I didn't look at her. I was just like, I've got to go to the loo. And then
Anna
she
de
put her
Armas.
hand up. She
Yeah,
put her
how
hand up.
could we
Anna
forget
de Armas
Anna
is
de
pretty good,
Armas?
She put her
Yeah.
hand up and she covered her face. Like, and that's
Oh,
what drew
wow.
my attention to. I was like, that's a
Oh.
bit weird.
Uh,
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I will say Fanor's got fantastic taste. Oh,
Yep. Same with Margot Robbie.
Well, Margot
No.
Robbie, when she came out first time, I thought she was sexy. Now I look at her and I
Doesn't
don't
do
think she's
anything for
Yeah,
me,
it doesn't do anything for me now for some reason. It's the same thing. Do you remember that Lisa Bonnet from the Crosby
Mhm.
Show? I used
Yeah.
to think she
Lisa
was
Bonet.
Oh,
gorgeous.
she was beautiful. Yeah.
Bonnet.
Bonet.
Bonnet.
It's Bonnet. It's
That's
not
Princess
Bonet.
Diana's favourite hat, isn't it?
Bonnet. Bonnet. So there you
Bonnet.
go.
Beautiful joke there.
Yeah.
Completely missed.
So yeah, I used to think she's gorgeous, but now I look at her, I think, nah.
Rather, folks, let's do some spaceships.
Okay.
then we'll
She is
finish with
significantly
some
older now than she was during the Cosby
He
years.
was, yeah.
What about Yasmin Finney?
I don't know who that is.
We're talking
you go,
about
Alicia
women, not
Vikander.
men.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander. She was pretty. Yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah.
The thing with her is, I think this is just my personal opinion. I think she looks very pretty, but sort of her behavior is more kind of reserved, if that makes any sense.
For Alicia Vikander or
Yes.
Anna. I like that about her, though. I like that she's a little more reserved in her behavior.
It's not
Is it
bad. I'm
'cause she's
just pointing it
Swedish?
out.
Yeah.
Anna de Anus, she just looks like a little girl, doesn't she? Most of the time.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, Ian.
She
Easy.
does. She does.
Easy.
What's
She
wrong with
does,
saying
but
that? What's wrong with saying that? She
Nothing,
looks like a little
mate.
girl.
Nothing.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, let's
you
do
go.
some spaceships.
Jessica Alba looks good, even now.
Oh yes, even now, yes.
Oh, her Halloween costume, she looked phenomenal this year. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's had 3 kids now. You wouldn't believe it.
Here you go, Melvin Deeply. Alyssa Vikander has no boobs and a man's voice. Yeah, pretty
She
face.
doesn't
though.
have a man's voice, and she has very pert, small boobies. If
What
you've
about
seen her new scenes.
Zendaya. No, I don't like her.
She's a plank of wood. I don't
Looks like
see
a
what the
12-year-old
hubbub
boy.
is.
I'm sorry.
Can't
no.
act either.
Yeah.
No, she's a good actress. I just
Oh,
don't
she?
like. Yeah, I don't like her the way she looks. I don't find her
MJ
She
is
looks
attractive.
miserable
Spider-Man.
all the time. Even when she's happy, she looks miserable.
Olga Kurilenko.
Yeah,
She's
James
all right.
Bond. She's in James Bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
She's
she's not a new actress though. She's been around
Right.
for a while.
She has.
Okay. Hopefully, I've got my
Show us some
captions correct.
spaceships.
What about
The
the actress who plays
X-Fighter!
the nun? Bonnie Aarons.
What
Don't
about
know
her?
that one.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
folks.
This is a classic.
X-Wing
classic X-Wing.
Starfighter.
Yeah, love it.
It looks
Love
good.
It.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it's nice.
Love
Totally
it.
not realistic as a space ship.
Yeah, but spaceships.
But
in
who
space.
cares?
Look
Yeah.
at that, everybody.
Looks
Look
cool.
at that. Look at that.
And that's the original.
Yeah,
the
not that
original.
redesign crap
Yeah.
from the new ones. The original here with the 4 full engines. Yeah, it looks so great.
I keep saying this, right? The reason how I rate spaceships is when I say I want that as a toy. If you can say I want that as a toy, you know it's well designed.
What kind of toy, Ian?
And you had
Butt
one,
plug.
and I had one, and most people had one. At our age had one.
What, butt plug?
Yes, this is a butt plug. It is a classic design, based on the wartime. What was it? What was it? Spitfire, wasn't it? Based on the Spitfire.
Was it?
Was it?
That was the idea behind it. It was inspired by the Spitfire, I think.
See, Vex, the top bit looks like a penis, doesn't it?
Yeah, say Vex really likes the tip there.
Vex.
Oh yeah, it's just a little too thin for my liking.
Yeah.
That's all. You know, needs a little more girth to it.
And the Vipers obviously were sort of copied from this, weren't they?
Have they got a black version of this ship for Vex?
A big black one.
That's gonna be 38 inches for sure. Then
38 feet.
Oh boy.
I will say, folks, if you've not voted, please vote. Oh, it's a close one, this.
Okay, what's the next one? Go on, show us the next one.
No,
I
well,
need
have
to
we
see all
finished
the
talking
chips
about the
first
X-Wing
before I-
fighter?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were. Carry on.
Yeah.
Anyone?
R2?
I do remember seeing the first time with the first time I saw this in the first film, like that there was the droid in the back acting as sort of the
Yeah.
co-pilot and everything. I thought that was totally
That
cool.
was so cool.
So it's really neat. He's back there kind of working on fixing things and stuff. It was really neat. But oh yeah, of course I had the toy of this. This was one of the few
I had one.
starships that I had from the original
Yeah, the model.
films. Still have it. Still have the toy somewhere. I'd have to go
you
dig it
lucky
out.
bugger.
But yeah, it's this was always one of my favorite. All the stickers are peeling off and everything.
Yeah.
Just an amazing looking ship. So cool.
Didn't one of these recently, the original filming model, sell at auction for something ridiculous just recently?
Yes, it did.
Was
I
it
can't remember what
$3
it was.
million? Or did I imagine that?
It was something ridiculously high. But it was discovered, wasn't it? It was found in a whole bunch of
Yeah, it was
stuff.
one of the model makers. Chat
Yeah.
help us out. It was one of the model makers from Star Wars who died recently, wasn't it?
Looks like 2.6 million. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the original filming model for
You'd have to
Red
dig
5,
under your
wasn't it?
couch to find that loose money, wouldn't you?
Well,
Oh,
somebody paid for it.
well, someone did, yeah.
Well, it is worth a lot of money. So,
Probably
yeah.
slightly devalued. We've probably got twice as much if it wasn't for Kathleen Kennedy.
I love this design. It's
There
fantastic.
you go. Manuel Grail had both the original one and the damaged Dagobah one with the scorch mark stickers. Kenner Star Wars toys were great.
They were. I used to have the Millennium Falcon and everything.
Here you go, Princess Fiona. Yeah, it sold for over 3 million.
Well, which is
Wow.
it? 2.6.
Well, no,
or
it's
3?
weird because the article I'm looking at says sells for record-setting 2.6 million, and then in the text says 3.135. So
What the hell?
Well, is that with tax on top?
Yeah, the
I don't know what it
VAT.
is.
Must be the VAT.
Okay. Should we do the next one then? Because obviously Ian wants to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Want to go to bed?
That's
What's
gorgeous.
this?
I love that.
Centauri Star Car, Last Starfighter.
I like this.
Oh,
Yeah, it was such a cool design.
It's cool.
Yes, of course.
I love that.
Of course. It looks like the midget of the DeLorean, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a bit.
A bit, yes. I like that design though. That was a good design as well. So I'm gonna vote now. Fine. I don't even need to see the other two.
It kind of looks like the car from the Moonwalker movie. You remember the Michael Jackson?
Yeah, probably it's probably the same one.
Looks a bit, I can't remember what that was
So,
called.
Just little bit of history here. This car
Lancia Stratos. That's it.
this car makes an appearance in Back to the Future 2.
Oh.
What?
Yes, it is parked
Where?
on the street in 2015 Hill Valley.
Wow.
So if you look down the street when there's a shot looking down the street towards where the theater is, you can see this car. They had it brought to the lot, and it's parked there.
That's
on
some
the street.
deep cut nerd
Yeah.
geek stuff right there.
You're telling me.
So what about Mr. Fusion? Mr. Fusion in Back to the Future 1 is Mr. Fusion is in Alien, the thing that he uses.
Yeah.
It's an alien. It's on the top of the table before Ash gets not Ash, is it? Yeah, Ash gets the thing come out of his stomach.
You get a lot of
The same thing.
reused props, don't you, in these
It's
films?
called Soda Stream,
the
if I
time.
remember correctly.
Even the flux capacitor was used in loads of different things, and the thing that Egon used, the ghost detecting thing, that was used in another film as a prop. So you get a load of those sort of recycled props in Hollywood.
Here you go, folks. Manuel Grail. Love child of a DeLorean and James Bond's Lotus Esprit from Spy Who Loved Me. Oh,
Gorgeous.
great.
I love
movie.
that. I had that toy.
Free. I love it.
The great Robert Preston? Is it Robert Preston? Who was the actor who died? This was his last role, wasn't it?
The
He
guy that
played
was in
Centauri. Robert.
Yeah.
Chat, help me out.
Carradine?
Robert Carradine.
No, it was a really famous actor. I know it was his last role. Robert.
Not Redford.
No, come on, chat, help me out.
PK.
please.
Thank you, Max.
Who?
No, PK was the.
Carradine had a strange death.
Come on, chat. I'm
Did you really?
dying on my ass here.
I
Robert
think
Preston.
He was
Yes.
doing.
Robert
It was
fishy
Robert
things.
Preston.
Yes.
There you go.
Famous actor. His last role, wasn't it? And he died. I think he died of the Big C pretty much straight after the movie.
The
Yeah,
big
here you go.
cock?
So yeah, his big
Butt
thing was the
cancer.
Music Man. That was what he was most famous for. Yeah.
Sorry, my brain's clearly somewhere else.
Jesus.
You can take the Canadian out.
You could take the cock out of a woman, but not a woman out of the cock.
Hammer Biotech. He was a star of Music Man, I believe.
Yeah, Music Man was the thing he was most famous for. Yeah, but yeah, he passed away from lung cancer in '87.
Oh, so he was.
So it would have been a
smoker
few
then.
years after this, but I'm not sure. what
Okay,
things he-
Centauri Star Car, Last Starfighter, everybody. Let me press some buttons.
Yay.
Oh God.
That's a classic
Somebody
rocket.
Fireball XL. This is Jerry
XL5.
Anderson, everybody. Go on,
Yeah.
Ian. You're an old fossil.
Yeah, well, it does look like it was made from a squeezy bottle, doesn't it? Come
It's
on.
shit.
Mhm.
Go on, say it.
It's a bit phallic.
You've not
Yes.
said it tonight. Go on for the
bit.
fans.
Well, it is shit,
Very
let's
phallic.
face it.
It's shit,
It's
everybody.
great. Come
Oh.
on. It's beautiful.
It's honestly, it
It's
just
so
looks, as I
retro, I
said,
love it.
it looks like it was made from a squeezy bottle and they got a couple of things from the kitchen
Liam
and stuck it
Neeson.
all
But
together.
it looks practical. It looks like a rocket. It looks like it's meant to be flying through space.
Here you
More
go,
than the
Lee.
X-wing, actually.
Red rocket to Uranus.
Oh,
It's a little too barbed for that, I think.
That's the fun part.
right.
You know, Joshua says all
If
the
you're
best
into that sort of
ships
thing.
out there.
It's like the during the First World War when they had the clap, isn't it? They had these little metal rods, and you poke it through the
Oh, no.
urethra, and then there'd be a little thing you push it through, and it create like a little umbrella, and then you
What?
pull it out, so it scrapes,
What?
scrape all the stuff
What?
out. Yeah.
It's yes. Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Average British nerd. It's quality. Once again, Ian proves he's got bad taste.
Good man. You tell him.
Cheers.
It's shite. Okay, so that's Fireball
XL5.
XL5. That was 1960s, wasn't it? Or was it 50s?
Yeah, it's
60s.
It was black and white, wasn't it?
and it had those puppets with the huge heads.
It's a puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
David X Class Romulan Warbird, everybody.
Beautiful.
That's pretty
TNG.
cool.
Yeah.
See, that's almost like what the Cylon ship
Look at that.
was kind of trying to emulate, I think.
I do like it,
Yeah,
but
I
I think
see,
it's quite ugly though.
Oh,
But I do like
I love
it.
it. It's beautiful and ugly at the same
Oh,
time.
it's
Yeah.
It looks
menacing.
alien. It looks alien.
Mm.
Oh, it's menacing. The first time you see
Yeah.
this show up on screen in TNG, you see it face to face with the D, which we know is a huge starship that they've kind
Don't
of
tell Vex
established
about the big D.
Ooh.
But
The big-
no, you see it next to that, and this ship is still massive. It is bigger than you could fit the
38
whole
inches.
dish of the Enterprise D inside that space
Oh,
in the middle there. It's huge.
That's great.
I will say, folks, if you've not voted, please do so. Very, very close.
I voted for this one because I just think it's such a beautiful design.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's so different from other designs that they had done up till then. Yeah, it's very unique.
A lot of the Romulan spaceships.
Here you go. Jamalama menacing. Yep. Princess Fiona, this makes your blood curdle. Max, Warbird is intimidating.
You will want to bump into it in a dark alleyway. Anyway. And I love the fact as well. You got the wings, which is a homage to the original design, isn't it?
Yeah.
The little feathers.
I think there was an episode where 3 of them turned up against the Enterprise, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it showed up more than a few times.
Vex, have you seen TNG?
I have not. No.
She doesn't watch sci-fi.
Yeah.
They
Sorry.
also appear in Deep Space Nine, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a whole fleet of them
Dominion.
shows up at one point. Yeah, during the Dominion War.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say, folks, shall we?
I think Jamalama says something.
You've got a minute, folks.
quite interesting there.
Bear with me.
Jamalama.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Do you want to read it?
Vex is eyeing those 2 handles and thinking about the leverage she can get.
Jamalama right on
Love
the
handles. Get in
to know how fast it can propel in and out,
Reading her mind.
It's at light speed.
Here you go, folks. Joshua Perry, TNG is trash. DS9, they go to wars.
TOS
sure.
for me.
Not sure
Original
I'd say it
series.
was trash, but DS9
yeah.
is my favorite track. I love Deep Space Nine.
I like them
TOS.
both. There's nothing wrong with liking the Next Generation
No,
and Deep
yeah,
Space Nine.
Yeah, they're both good. They both have their rough couple of starting seasons too.
Yes.
Sorry, Kirk, Spock, Bones.
Oh no, yeah.
That's it for me.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
Star
but
Trek.
you can't tell the difference between Cisco and Kirk. They both speak the same, don't they? They do. I'm gonna go down there. You know what I mean? That's how he speaks,
He
right?
definitely took. I think he definitely took more cues from Kirk than he did from some of the other
Certainly
captains, for sure. Yeah.
He certainly did. Yeah.
Okay, you've got seconds to vote, folks.
Vote. Why don't you?
Seconds. It's very, very close. Bear with me. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'll do a countdown, folks. I'll do a countdown.
TBA.
10.
Not the TVA.
In fact, the winner, there's a clear winner now. It's the winner's pulled away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully it's done it. Has it done
There we
it?
go.
Chat move up. Here we go. So in reverse order, folks. Bringing up the rear.
Vorvex.
Yeah.
Fireball XL5 with 8%.
We knew that was going to go
But
down.
But people did vote for it, so
Yeah.
there you are.
It had its fans.
Yeah. Some Brits
Third
in the
place, Centauri Star Car, Last Starfighter, 13%, 13%. Oh, here we go. Devidex class Romulan Warbird.
What is it with my choices being second now? Stop it. I don't like this.
Nobody remembers second place, Lee. Remember that.
Well, I don't know because Eurovision Song Contest. Quite often, the second place people win, like more.
Moving
in the
on.
long run.
Devidex
Apart from
class
ABBA.
Romulan Warbird, 33%.
Ooh.
And the winner, X-Wing Fighter, 44.
Yay!
Wow.
Yay!
The classic.
Well, you can't go wrong, can you?
So
No.
that will go through to the next
Round.
That will go to round 2. I think there's a super chat, so bear with me. I would say it's a gold colour super chat, but Z's not here, is he? So here we go. Romeo Tango November Zulu for 10 New Zealand dollars. Hail Brown and team just finished a stream with Blue Collar Loser, Lord Toxic, and Stupenzo on
Starship
another-
Troopers.
on Starship Troopers. Good fun. Love the Romulan Warbird, but X-Wings are classic. Glad I didn't miss this. Thank you, my friend.
Hey.
Starship Troopers, great movie.
It is.
Ian, are you okay for the 8 minutes? Are you
I've come this far.
okay?
on.
So,
He's
You
in
old
this
git.
deep.
are we going to finish on thoughts about the Marvels then? Anything to add? Other
Thank
than
God we didn't see Bree's feet.
Yeah.
Probably that's probably the thing I take away from it.
okay, I will say
I didn't hear earlier. Did you guys talk about the scene at the end?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with Beast.
Binary.
Yeah, Beast and non-binary. Yeah.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
I thought that name was on the nose, but she's a character that's been around
Yeah.
since like the 80s.
Well, she's binary was actually a different version or another name that Carol Danvers used.
Yes, so
Yeah.
she's
Especially
basically alternate universe Captain Marvel.
it was especially during a time when she was typically palling around with the X-Men during some of their cosmic stuff.
I think
So,
I think Marvel and Disney are beginning to realize that all this stupid stuff they stick in their films is damaging their profits.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. Marvel's is the first film I've seen that's actually tried to show someone in
Yeah,
a
that's
sexy light. Do you know what I mean?
good
Are we-
point,
are-
actually. Ian.
Are we ever
Wait-
going to get X Factor? Because that's a bit ruined now because of the TV show, isn't it?
Where do you think the MCU is going to go from this? Because this is a low, isn't it?
Oh, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the lowest of the low?
coming close to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where they even go from here, to be honest. I mean, obviously, we do have still Deadpool 3 is in the wings, ready to come out. But beyond that, and what there's the Echo show, right? That they still have
That's
to
gonna
release.
flop.
I mean, it's dead on arrival. But
I liked the
beyond
look of
that,
though.
beyond that, I really, if they're smart, they should just take 3 or 4 years, just nothing.
We've talked
And
about
try
this,
over.
right? When they try to do something, they try to either go super woke or try to be too clever about what they're trying to put out. I mean, James Gunn is
Too
like,
clever.
yeah,
That
well,
would be a first.
they try to be.
Yeah.
James
Oh,
Gunn is
sorry.
going to make the Superman movie, and he's talking about basing it on a comic book instead of just making a Superman movie. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the Ghostbusters that's coming out. That instead of
Well, it's
being
because he's got no belief in his writers or
Well-
himself. Because if you can't create something fresh and you have to use a comic book, it means you're looking for material that's going to do the writing for you.
But
then
they
they'll still
don't
manage to
do
screw
that,
it
though,
up.
do
I know
they?
they'll still manage to screw it up.
They
That's
screw-
what
yeah,
they do.
exactly.
They take from source material and then they think, well, I can improve on that, and of course they don't. So.
But yeah, just stick to the story, stick to what the core of the idea, and then you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? But they're not going to do that, are they? There's so many stupid people in charge of multi-million-dollar organizations. Crazy.
Should Feige, was it
Feige.
Feige?
Fiage.
Feige.
Feige, yes.
Should he get the boot?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes, he should.
I think
Will
he should
he?
just leave on his own terms. He should just say, listen, I had a nice run. I made some mistakes in recent years. I'll see you later.
Who's in charge of Pixar now, anyway?
Is
Nobody
anyone
knows,
actually
right?
running
Nobody
it?
I
really.
mean,
It seems to be a rudderless
Nobody.
ship.
yeah.
And what's this film, this new film
committee.
that Disney's bringing out called Wish?
Oh, did you see
And
the trailer?
have you seen
for
the
that?
trailer?
Oh my
It's
God,
like,
it was
oh,
so
Wish.com.
diverse.
White man bad.
So
White man bad.
diverse,
Yes.
amazing, with amazing.
Guaranteed flop. It is not going to do well.
Well, they're advertising it heavily on the radio. Every day they've got an advert for
Because
Wish.
you can't see how bad it is.
Disney's desperate for any kind of win, and they
Hmm.
think that Wish is going to be their last chance for a win this year. There's no way. It's just not going to happen. This is going to go down as a banner year for losses for them.
How long do you think Disney has on its? Is it on its last legs, or is it just being so heavily financed by think tanks that they don't care?
Jim Morris, Pixar,
Yeah.
apparently. Whoever that is.
Yeah, he's
A friend of mine
knows?
that deals with finance and investments, he told me, and this is a number of months ago, and I kept telling him, look at all this stuff that Disney is doing, look at the stock. And he said to me, Disney is such a big company that they can afford to do so many stupid things and still be a company. And maybe
Yeah.
he's right.
Too big to fail, just like the banks.
In a
You
way,
know, they'll
yeah.
get bailed out or whatever. You know.
yeah.
always.
So
You
here you go.
know,
Just as you were saying that, Joshua, here you go.
There we are. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think you should, you know, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Like anything else, if you're failing as a company, you should fail. End of.
I don't think they're too big to fail. I just think that they are so big that they can absorb those losses a great deal longer than other companies obviously could avoid to.
But it's not
going out of
it's not the financial losses that's the problem. I think it's the damage to the reputation.
It's the
Yeah,
investors
well, and
who
that's-
most
copy it.
damaging.
It's
Yes,
the
and
investors
that's-
who are copying it.
Yeah, it's their damage to their reputation is starting to have an effect. Obviously, you know there are people that will not take their kids to go see a Disney movie before they know whether or not it's
And
woke.
that trust is
They-
very difficult to build
and
back once it's broken.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
It's
very
true.
difficult to win back those customers once
Apathy
they've
sets
left.
in.
Here you go,
Yeah.
Angry Llama. Oh, sorry, that was different. Oh,
She's
sorry.
guzzling
Oh,
cock.
Here you go. Sorry, it's moved up.
She's playing with her pussy.
I don't think Apple will buy them. I think, as I've said many times, Apple will buy Pixar for sentimental reasons.
I think
They don't give a shit about Disney.
I think Apple will be much wiser because they also operate in that kind of woke ground. I think, but they would probably do it better. So I think they would be better as a competition to Disney.
Here you go, Joshua again. Warner Brothers is 50 billion. Where's
Yeah.
Z when you need him? In debt. Disney has a tenth of that. God, that's just
WB is in much
mind-blowing.
worse shape than Disney is. Yeah, and
sure.
as far as Disney goes, we do still have to wait and see just a bit. There does sound like there's going to be some activist investors who are going to be interested in trying to take some board seats and potentially try and right the ship a little bit, but we don't actually know what's going to happen there yet. We've just heard rumors.
Just said Ben Shapiro in there,
Yeah.
and his lookalike actress.
Yeah, the drinker interviewed Ben Shapiro.
I know
didn't
that
he?
was so funny.
Yeah,
That was
no,
not fun
interesting.
modding the chat, by the way, because
No
people
boy.
were
Yeah, we can imagine.
people were going for it. But anyway,
Mm.
I think that's it, folks. Ian and myself, literally 2 minutes before we came on, decided to stream, didn't we, Ian?
Yep,
So
No
it's
regret.
Ian's fault.
I regret it.
Chat, genuinely, thank you so much. It was, you turned up. I'm just so blessed. Thank you, everyone. If you've sent me a super chat as well, thank you so much. I'm just truly humble. So, chat, you are wonderful. We're back tomorrow doing the normal stuff. So, I will thank the guests who just by osmosis appeared. So I will thank the wonderful, the governor of Twitter, problem being.
Hello, I'll be back on Twitter soon.
Have you
I
been
got another
banned?
24 hours before. Yeah,
You've been a naughty boy.
I got suspended for being sarcastic. I mean,
What did you say?
oh, it was some bullshit about Israel or something,
Oh,
Palestinian thing.
Gotcha.
And
They didn't kick you off because of blackface. Because is that a blackface you got on there as your
how
avatar?
dare you? I mean, how much white can you get? I mean, really? Honestly,
indeed. I will
beautiful
thank
dentistry.
second time on the channel, Price of Reason. Thank you, my friend. Great to have you back on.
Great to be here. Thank you. It was very pleasant. Well, pleasant. Somebody said pleasant isn't a good word, so it's very fun.
It's shit.
And
It's shit.
Do you work on the radio, by the way? Price
Do I-
of Reason.
do I
Radio.
work? The word.
You got a radio voice.
He's got an
Yeah.
ASMR voice. He should do
Oh,
something
yes.
like late night.
Yes, I'm
Price of
saying that's what you
Reason,
should be
yeah.
doing. You should be on the radio now, going, and this is for the birds out there, and something stuff like that.
You know, I
Little
recently
knickers
I
on
started a
voice.
second channel where I kind of do live streams. I've started doing stuff about Quantum Leap, the original
Oh,
series.
nice.
So if anybody likes that, you can always check that out. But yeah, maybe I'll do late night streams if you think it's a good voice for that.
It is. Just say.
You should read a dirty novel one night on one of those streams.
Maybe we
Vex
can
will
do one
join you
together.
for that.
Vex.
Yeah,
Just
Vex will
Vex.
join you for that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I have a
Second
dirty
person.
novel that I'm reading right now that we could read together. in
We could
fact.
read it together.
Big help with the spaceships, folks. Professor Artoo, great to have you on, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always fun.
We need to update the results as well. The wonderful, I genuinely love this girl, Captain Vex.
Pussy power, y'all. Mm.
Pussy's the best. You know it. I know it.
I love being on this channel with you guys. You're always just a pleasure. I'm gonna say it, a pleasure to be around.
Oh, yes.
Pleasure.
My.
Great to have
I'm
you,
excited to
Vex.
come on tomorrow
I bet you
in
are.
more than one way.
Get your
And-
towel ready.
Yeah, and last but by no means least, old Grumpy Pants himself, the Mega Geek. Cheers, Ian.
Good shit. Yeah, there you go.
And from
With a
that
little more
bombshell-
oomph.
Get in the bin.
Catchphrase.
It's You've got it
on
all.
that bombshell. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Ta-da.
Take care. See you soon. Bye. Timing.